balls behind me.
I'm worried about what critics say, what people
I'm not
gotta
supposed to catch.
You know who my dad is?
Making people miss out in the open when I get the ball.
So it's like
just different things.
it's almost normal. Without people hating, it's not normal for us. So
doing the
we
wildcat stuff like that, that's
diversity. We like
really just
everything that
came
comes
natural.
with the name.
That's
That's
what
why
I
we
did
are
in
who
high
we
school. Dropping. I mean, so with me doing that is not a problem.
You know, my dad was able
really,
to
when I got to college, came natural because, like I said, when I played in high school, I played quarterback.
We're able to talk to the running back coach.
When I got to college, as my receiver coach was teaching me
all these different types of coaches to give you their perspective of what you need to improve on and grow at. So I'm realistic. You know, I know what I need to improve on. I know what I need to grow at, and year by year, cut on the tape. Those mistakes cut down yearly. So I'm hyper aware of everything I need to do to be successful. So
one thing
I'm ready to get to it. Oh yeah, I met with them here. I met with a lot of teams here, and it's truly exciting being able to meet Coach and everybody with the organization and the staff. So if they call me and they say come on a visit, you know I'll be there. What you saying? NFL wide receivers I fantasized throwing to Travis Hunter, LaJohntay Wester, Will Shepard, and Jimmy Horn. Because I feel like it makes more sense for me to be at home, be with the family, be with everybody that supported me. Cost-wise, it's not going to make sense to fly everybody there.
Give me a push or anything.
It's going to be too much of a hassle, you know, so it's best to do it with those people that have been supporting me this whole way and have been by my side.
What's a skill set or trait that you're most proud of about your game?
I'm most proud about my mental. Yeah, because I know nothing can phase me, no pressure, no situation.
Towards the middle of the season in college, my coaches started pulling in plays from Debo and other players, just how they get used. The Buccaneers.
That's a good question. I like that. I wish we got in our groove, I'll say, sometimes late in games. So that's how I realized, okay, going to the next level, I got to find myself early. I got to get ready mentally early, because I know early on, some games I wasn't taking the completion coach was calling. Sometimes I was trying to make too much happen. So that just comes from a mindset of like, do or die mentality. To where you can succeed and not succeed. And sometimes, you know, I got caught up playing hero ball, but I understand where I messed up, and now
yes, sir.
I'm gonna fix it at the next level.
Yes, sir.
You know what?
It was on Wednesday.
Oh, there goes second in the back. Everybody give it up for a second. We're right there.
Nah, man, it was a long day, man. I think that was my last formal, so I barely remember. Yes, sir. Little league, I played quarterback. When I got to high school, I moved to receiver, and then my senior year in high school, I played.
I said being a leader. That's my best trait overall.
Nothing
because
really.
everything's
So
if I
when I got to high school, it was me and
I got to
one
be
of my
able to
best friends.
adjust to my players to
One of us
have them
had
have
to move around,
ability
we were gonna be able
for
to
them
play
to
like
get to
that,
know
so
me for us to make everything smooth. So
I moved around.
I came from
like
ABC
came
and
natural.
Power 5. Those two types
That's
of
what that was.
different
My
players
senior year when I played quarterback,
getting to know people, talking
I got
to people,
back in the backfield and I was getting the ball and throwing
making everything
like Little League all over again.
The path and everything I had, even with Dad being a coach, it's still been a challenge. It's still been everything because he's my dad. So you can never want to come off a certain way to people. So that's why when I'm here interacting with people, I love interacting with people because so they can truly get to know me and not just look clicks or anything like that.
Shedeur is like the best fit. So that's how they use Debo, move them around and do different things. I think I have.
That's the plan. If that's not what you're trying to do, don't get me. If you ain't trying to change the franchise or the culture, don't get me. So you should know history repeats itself over and over and over. And I've done it over and over and over. So it should be no question about NFL franchise.
About it. What do I prefer? What do I think I am?
Of course. Now the thing is, I respect a lot of quarterbacks here. They put a lot of hard work in to get to this point. So it's kudos to them. It's truly respect, but I know what I bring to the table.
Shedeur. Like I said, like a few questions ago, like all the dirty work, short yardage, anything, like really bring anything to the table.
It was truly just getting to know him because, like I said, we have relatability because the media painted him a certain way when he said that.
With the Bills,
so I went through scrutiny also.
Like,
so I told him,
formal, so I
bro,
couldn't even tell
you can't. Certain things you can't say.
When I went in there, we just went over a few
to
plays that showed
paint
me
a certain type of picture. You know, like don't let that happen. So since then, you know, he been good, he been smiling, he been fun. Even when he's frustrated, I just said, just take it day by day. But I was able to understand him.
Shedeur.
I don't know. Probably like 4 or 5. Take it all in because I mean, for me, this is a dream.
You know it.
Take it
if
all
you want to
in.
get in contact with me, it's easy. It's extremely easy, and everybody. My dad been in this space for a long time, so he ain't hard to find.
When you talk about playing
Through my journey, I'll say my grandpa just put me in football and keep
because
my
I'm
head
able to
down,
adapt all the type of personality.
keeping God first.
The only thing that I know is I know what I want, and I know it's gonna make me succeed. So that's these conversations with the coaches, with the DMs, and just understanding, like this how I'm get on track.
I didn't learn running back
because I tried everybody's way. I tried every different style, every different way. So I knew
moved me
what worked
back
for me
there,
and
and
what
it
makes me
was
play
just
my best.
Shedeur.
It was it.
feel good? What is one
I like the
item?
tennis chain too.
What is one item or article of clothing
TCU
you can't live
uniform.
without?
My jury.
My Texas game.
Yeah, I can't live without the jury. You know, Dad had Deion Jr. wearing jury when he was 3 years old, so it's like it runs in the family.
Josh Hoover.
Do you have a dream designer or
Right
brand
there,
that you
y'all
would
see
want
that.
to be a creative director for?
Nah, I'm focused on football. I ain't thinking about creative director. We got legendary. That's the creative direction.
Shedeur, what's your favorite?
So I know you're focused on football, but you also release music. When you join the NFL, can we
Yes, sir.
expect more music from
Most
you?
definitely.
See, like, I'm happy you asked that question. You gotta understand, when you get the work done, and that's why you drop the YouTube video Day in the Life. We work out, we eat, we watch film. After that, you got all these hours to yourself. So why would somebody criticize you for being at home and being able to express yourself the way you want to express yourself?
Do you feel like it's
Rather than you could be out being wild, doing all this type of stuff, driving as fast as you can on the road, doing anything wild. So it's like, if anything, I feel like some gyms, you know, they appreciate that you're in a controlled environment, able to just express yourself and chill. So I make it truly for fun. I don't make it to release. Like if you get, I got an app that I send to all my friends. Everybody got 20 songs on there, but it's just for like just to decompress. That's all.
Shedeur, what?
with that being said, in regards to music, you said your mental process is so important. People have criticized you. How important is that balance to keep your mental in check to be the best possible quarterback?
My play style
it's
is very
extremely important to keep your mental in the best place because that's what my game is playing. My game's not played from my legs and not even just my arms. So I know longevity, the all-time greats, who is Tom Brady best trait? His mental. He's able to think. So if you have those traits of greatness, and I know where I'm heading, then why wouldn't a franchise pick me?
Shedeur, what's your favorite? What's your favorite passing concept? 3rd and 8, high red zone, got it against cover 3 match.
What team you represent?
I'm just here asking football questions. Is football allowed?
Nah, because then I don't want 3rd and 8. You know, and it's crunch time, so people know my favorite concept.
I wouldn't say working on it because it's kind of easy to block. I mean,
I'm here
you
to
got
speak with myself.
a person and if they ain't trying to run
Shedeur.
or anything, so I mean, of course, yes, ma'am.
The number of where you go don't matter. Like I say, and this I reference Tom Brady, best of the best in all categories. He ain't go. So the number again big don't matter. I wasn't the top rated quarterback coming out of high school because it's a lot of exterior things that people like and they don't like about me. And I'm realistic, you know, and I'm realistic about my family and everything that people say it comes with.
Shedeur.
For sure. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it's easy meeting with people because I'm gonna just be myself. So it's like you either like it or you don't. because I've done it at 2 locations already. So it's simple. So that's why when people say I'm not, one of the top quarterbacks or the top quarterback, is what are y'all going based off of? Because I did it year after year after year. You see the progression. So it's like, obviously, it got to be some type of external hate that you have for the family, for the last name, for anything, because I know I proved myself on the field. I was extremely grateful for the fans, for everybody that poured into Colorado and Jackson State. None of this stuff would happen without Jackson State, so that's first and foremost because it's stepping stone. So from there, then we was able to go to Colorado and learn all those life lessons that I learned there. So I'm extremely grateful for both universities to get me to this point. My favorite moment at Colorado, I would say when we was able to let Miss Peggy go to a bowl game. Definitely. Thank you. Legendary.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There you go.
So he doesn't answer football questions. Well, I learned an important thing. So.
Gio. Love the fit.
This goes to their top.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, Notre Dame should give you a call. You look like you're ready to run on the field and take them out on the field now.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Put that together. That's awesome.
So you didn't get to ask any questions. Gio, what were you going to ask if you got a chance?
I was going to ask, what his favorite part of this transition phase has been and how his dad has helped him through it.
Yeah, well, he's probably answered similar questions, but the thing that Dion always talks about is how he tries to encourage her to be his own person, which, is what it must be like, because by the time you're this old, everybody's asking you, are you going to be like your dad, you can play football, blah, blah, blah. He must have, had to fight to try to prove he's not just basically Dion Jr. There's a Dion Jr., obviously, who is not even a football guy, right? He's doing, he's a videographer and a whatever else he is now. Who are you going to try to get next?
Ashton Janty at 10 o'clock.
That's a 10, okay.
Yeah.
Yep, that'll be a good one. I hope he does stuff here.
Yeah.
I understand why he probably won't, but I'd love to see him do something here.
Yeah.
Even if he just does the vert.
Yeah.
Yeah, just one thing.
Do one thing. Just show people. Give us a little something. Show us a little leg.
Yeah, come on.
Show us a little less.
You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
You don't have to get full, I'm not asking you to get, full on, stripped down. Just give me a little something.
Yeah.
Give people what they want.
So this away before we get started. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'll be fighting to get into position now.
Let's go. I saw that. He saw that. And then he tweeted out yesterday. It's
Let's go, man. Let's go. My arms are so
There you go. You found Graham Mertz. That's how you avoid the crowd. Mertz, you survived Wisconsin. What was that like?
Came out on the other side.
That by itself, even like half a check mark just for that. Let's see. Good to see you, sir.
I will send you the I did something with the PBR. Oh, yeah, sorry. Lighten up every which way. No, not out here for the inspection. so he's on the shelf right now. So better call Flip for that guy. All right, I personally am very fired up for this one. Former Notre Dame quarterback Riley Leonard kind enough to join us here in Indianapolis. Riley, you're coming off an incredibly long but incredibly successful season in South Bend this last year. How did that help you prepare for this moment now that you're ready to make yourself the next level?
I think that's a really good question. When you're able to come to a combine and, I'm usually the underdog, right? I'm usually the new guy. I've been, the no star, right? They gave me 3 stars my first year, but I was kind of always the underdog. But fortunately, when you go to the Natty, everybody kind of knows who you are. So to be able to come in and a lot of people recognize me and be able to make relationships with these guys from it's really a good time for me. It's special, right? You go to Notre Dame and it's kind of everything I do.
And you're going to have the whole crowd up here, right?
The Braves probably the best receiver. And then I met with
What's that 40 going to look like, man?
hopefully 4.4s, try to get the 4.3,
Let's go.
I ain't got this close now, so.
Oh, you also do agilities here?
Yeah, depending on how I feel after the 40 and then the route, so we'll see that.
You back to 100% after Mobile?
I'm close. I'm still working, so just trying to, get better as the time goes.
What part of your game are you looking to highlight for teams this week?
Probably just my route running, just being consistent, with the routes and the drills and stuff like that. So.
Where do you think you improved the most especially?
Probably just my run out the catch. I think I've improved that. Last year I didn't really have too many opportunities, and this year, I got a lot of short passes to break into long runs. So.
What are some players in the NFL you kind of look to help out your game?
I look at Deontay Johnson. I like him a lot. Who else? Devontae Adams, of course. Great receiver. So I like to model my game after them.
Jalen, coming from Georgia military all the way to Utah State, now to the NFL, how are you going to continue to defy the odds and keep rising, man, in the NFL?
Yeah, it's definitely motivating. It's coming from a JUCO to where I am now. It's definitely kept me at a high, and I just continue to ride that high. So just keep going on and just keep proving everybody wrong.
Jalen, what was the game this season that you learned the most from that allowed you to develop as a player throughout the season?
Probably Utah. That was probably the game I learned the most. Going against the line, good defense, just learning the ins and outs of offense and defense. Probably that game.
Who's one of your biggest inspirations in the world?
Probably my mom and my dad, family. So.
Jalen, what's the most difficult catch you've ever made, and why was that the most difficult one?
Probably I played Georgia State in the bowl game. I had to come back to the ball, so that was a pretty difficult catch.
What was the concept? What was the play call on that play?
It was a double move, and I ran a double move like a dig and go ball. So I ran a double move, ball was underthrown, I had to come back to the ball. Ball ran at full speed, so it was pretty difficult.
Jalen, you have a lot of A.J. Brown-like strength in your game when you run routes. Guys don't really like to press you up too often. We saw you get physical with a corner at the Senior Bowl. Do you pride yourself on that? And is there any other guys that you kind of take from their game to add to yours?
Yeah, so during the Senior Bowl, I didn't know the rules a little different now, so I can't really be doing that now. But yeah, I like to watch A.J. Brown a lot. He's strong, physical corner. Seeing him in the Super Bowl with against Trevor Duffy and how physical he was. So just trying to take that from his game and just implement it in mine. So.
And then as you go to the league, you also can do things on special teams. That's something that you're going to plan to work on and show teams that you can do.
Yeah.
To get on the field earlier, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, of course. I'm a rookie, so I'm trying to just work my way up and whatever God has in store for me, then that's what I'm doing.
Jalen, you balled out in the system at Utah State. However, what is something that you wish you could have showcased more at your time there that you didn't really get the chance to back then?
Probably a little more contested catches. I know this year we didn't really throw the ball as deep as we did the previous year, but just really contested catches is probably the biggest thing.
Jalen, there was a lot of simplified routes like screen during Utah Utah State. What do you think was the reasoning? Just to get the ball in your hands?
Yeah, so I know some of the defense we played had a good line, and most of that scheme was just getting the ball out quick, getting it into my hands, and making it space.
Do you think you'll be able to run more complex route tree at the next level, or are there routes you need to work on?
Yeah, I feel like I'll be fine.
Your entire football career, what would you say was the moment that you said, hey, like, this is really going to be
I'll probably go into my sophomore year. Going into my junior year, knowing I had to fill a role, and just after that first game against Iowa was definitely a moment changer for me.
Jalen, in Mobile, you crushed him one-on-ones, man.
Yeah.
Who's the toughest DB you faced while at Senior Bowl?
Probably Max Harrison out of Kentucky. He's a good DB, so probably him.
Jalen, everything's based on time. You're like on yourself to look at so you can see where you're at compared to guys.
I try not to, but of course, you're going to. But just knowing that I'm here with the top guys is definitely a blessing. So just keep for me to continue to keep improving and just climb the rankings or whatever however y'all I guess made them. So.
Jalen, I know you were a little dinged up. Are you gonna run? And are you 100%?
Yeah, I'm gonna run the 40. I wouldn't say 100%, but I'm definitely getting there. So.
What's your favorite play call to hear come in and why?
Probably just, I like a lot. I like the screens. So we ran a lot of screens last year, so I like the screens.
As a blocking wide receiver, and you're a good blocker, obviously screens wide don't work if you don't block. Want to strengthen your game and make it even better.
Well, just blocker too, to take inside or whether determine whether the play is and how you align with the blocker. So,
what's the favorite film study play you've made in your career? A play you could not have made if not for a tendency or something you spotted on tape?
When we played Boise State, it was like a trips formation, and I guess the DB was a little flat-footed when we couldn't before and covered up. So when we ran that route, I came off and then basically just went past him, scored a touchdown, and it was definitely a film study play right there.
Jalen, who's next at Utah State? Who are we going to talk to next year at the podium?
Hopefully Jack and Sarah, next receiver. He's pretty good. He made a couple plays this year too, so just watching him, Sewell Faye's on left, so you can't watch him, so yeah.
Which current NFL wide receiver do you think you can learn the most from playing next to him?
Depending on who I get drafted from, just any receiver ahead of me, they know a little bit more experience than me, so if I can get as many knowledge and exposure points as possible, then that's fine.
What have been the biggest changes you've made to your body since the end of the season through diet and exercise?
Probably just getting stronger and I guess I weighed in at like 195.
Is that where you want to be? Because that's less than you weighed during the season.
Yeah, so I weighed in at 135 a couple years ago, like 2 years ago, and then this season I was floating between 205, 210. So I'll probably be around that weight during that.
Thank you.
I like to listen to music. I like to listen to a little R&B. I'm a Mary J. Blige type of guy.
Talk to me about two specific plays. When I turned on the film, I looked at, Penn State game and the Michigan game. Went up against Will Johnson. Talk to me.
A lifetime break. I really, do my thing.
Yeah.
There was no better opportunity to, have a good game versus, I believe they're number 1 or number 2 in the country at the time. My team needed a play from these great blockers. Talia, I know exactly what you're talking about. Kudos to Talia for dropping the bucket. And, it was a great matchup. Will Johnson is one of the guys.
And then talk to me, about your ability in air, to contort your body. I feel like that's something that's not talked about enough. How does that go into, whether it's your film set or just you looking at yourself as a player?
Being acrobatic, that's hard for guys outside. Just trying to get the narrative of, he's tall, he's lengthy, he can't move that good. But I honestly think I really define those guys every time.
Is that something that you've just naturally had? And at what moment, in your football career, did you realize, hey, I'm really going to be good at this?
I've always been able to move like I was 5'10", 5'11". I've always tried to sharpen my tools at it. There's always ways to get better at it, and still to this day, I'm trying to get better at it. Being 6'4" and playing like a 5'11", that's a good.
And I'm kind of curious, one last thing. When I turn on your film, I kind of see a little bit of like T. Higgins, over the middle of the field, runs that kind of in. What do you feel about that comp? And did you also meet with the Bengals?
I'm not sure if I met with Cincinnati. It's been a long week.
Yeah,
I met with a lot of teams, but T. Higgins is another guy I like to model my game after. Big guy, he's a body, can run after the catch. He can do it all. Gets great balls from Joe Burrow. I was watching him at Clemson before the next level. So yeah, he's a great receiver.
Kane, at times they give you the opportunity to read defenses on the fly and adjust. When did you start getting comfortable being able to figure out what defense is doing on the fly and then adjust your routes based on that?
Absolutely. Probably when I got to Maryland, playing in the Big Ten, you see a lot of different things, a lot of good defenses. I realized that I had to, make a change and, get in the field a little more and, start knowing what the defense is doing before they get it. I like to see defenses how quarterbacks see it, you know what I mean? So that's something I'm still getting better at also.
So what's your favorite film study play? A play that you spotted something and then later in the game it's like, I got this.
Probably, I like to see how, defensive backs react later in the game, when they're tired, you've been blocking them all game, being in the air all game, just to see how they, react, it comes down to the wire. And, once I see a DB gets fatigued towards the end of the game, that's when I can definitely rise to the occasion and make plays.
So what's an example of one of those times when you saw maybe a tendency, maybe a guy is not playing leverage right, or maybe even he's jumping something and you're able to take advantage of it?
For sure. I go on the USC game from this year. We fought to the wire with them. I think the final score was 29-28. They had a couple close games previously to them playing us, and we've seen, how sometimes, their communication can be off later in the game, and we took advantage of that.
Excellent.
Caden, what have you learned about yourself this week? I mean, it's probably the craziest week of your life. What have you learned from it that you can take and make yourself a better person and football player?
Pretty much, everything that, everything I can do it, just, the long days, everybody's having long days, everybody's tired, but, to just sit back and realize how blessed I am to be in this opportunity before complaining, it's just truly a blessing. So, I found in myself that, pretty much I can do it just like everybody else can do it too.
Caden, you were under-recruited coming out of high school. What were the things that allowed you to go from a guy that people maybe didn't see what they wanted to see, like they see from like 4 or 5-star prospects, and then climb up to this point where you're now about to enter the NFL? What things changed for you?
I mean, it's crazy, still to this day, I'm still, in the underdog position, and I love it, you know what I mean? It's really a good feeling proving people wrong, I'd rather prove people wrong than prove people right. So I enjoy being in this position.
What was the thing that made the difference for you in the recruitment process for you to finally choose your first home?
I definitely go relationships. I wasn't big on facilities or location. I went to West Virginia. I wanted to see something new, and I had a great relationship with my receiver coach, Jared Parker,
who's a really great coach.
Yeah, great coach at West Virginia, and it was good. So relationships are really big for me.
Parker's huge on fundamentals. What were the maybe 3 top things you took away from him even when you left?
You can't coach naturally, you know what I mean? You got to wake up every day, wanting to get better. You're not going to get, wake up and get better at something, catching extra balls, and, just really becoming a student in the game. Coach Parker taught me you really got to love this stuff. So it was big.
And explain your re-recruitment, or however you want to call it, process, when you realized I might be looking for another place to play. How did you make that decision?
That was pretty easy for me. I had love from a lot of schools, when I entered the portal. But, I wanted to come home, put on for my city. So it was a no-brainer for me.
And that was important for you, obviously, because now you've got friends and family able to see you. What was your favorite game in front of your people? The game that you feel like you best, as you said, put on for your city.
For sure. Pretty much, every time I got to gear up in that Turks uniform, and we had a home game. You know, I didn't take advantage of any opportunity, whether it was a D1 AA school or whether it was another Power 5 school. I took advantage of every opportunity. I always had a crowd, in the audience for me. So every opportunity I had to put on for my family, I enjoyed it.
I think people describe Mike Locksley's coaching style as being loved hard. Sometimes very hard. With there's a bit of there's a little oomph in it. You feel it. What things did you take away from working with Coach Locksley, and how do you think he helped prepare you for this moment?
Coach Locksley just has that DMV grit. You know what I mean? He's a coach from DC, Southeast DC at that.
Shout out to Southeast.
He's coached some of the greatest. He comes from the Saban coaching tree, and just everything he says. Like I said, I'm a sponge. I try to keep it in and listen. I respond best to hard coaching. He understands that. So I never take it personal when he puts a foot up my rear behind and tells me about myself.
Are you doing? Last question. Are you doing everything here? Everything?
Everything but bench press.
Everything but bench press. That's your brother. Thank you.
Oh wait, no! I have one more question.
Tennessee was awesome where Janila got blocked out. Monroe was the loser. I didn't get that. And that sometimes that's the hack. I didn't appreciate it. Right on. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, we've got a little break in action.
I was hoping they brought that.
Oh yeah, a lot of them. Yeah, I mean it's awesome. I think every Arizona kid wants to see those teams be successful just because you grew up being a fan of them. Obviously they had some down years in the past, but it's super proud of them. And obviously Coach Arroyo for what he's done, and he's a really good coach. I know he's going to get him right, and he has. So I'm excited to see what they do.
Where is home?
Yeah.
Because for Jordan, it's always going to be Eugene.
Yeah.
What is home for you?
I think my home is Jordan, honestly. She's been kind of the only consistent thing through that. She's been helping me out, whether it's helping me shower and clean myself after surgery, just helping me talk through, plays. She's been helping me out through this whole process, learning offenses, talking me down, after some bad stuff happened. So I think obviously a piece of me was with each school, Oregon, Texas Tech, and Louisville. So I wouldn't be who I am without them. So I feel it's honestly a really hard question to be like, well, where does my loyalties lie? Because I'm rooting for Oregon whenever they're playing. I'm rooting for Tech and all those guys, and obviously Louisville now that I've gotten to play them.
Tyler, what did you learn from competing against Justin Herbert?
Yeah, I think for me, like I said before, was coming in right away as a skinny freshman and sitting as a big, physical athlete and throwing the ball 80 yards on the line, and I'm like, man, I gotta get bigger once. And so obviously getting smarter. So it was great just coming in and seeing that standard. And then now, you get to a point in your career where you're like, okay, I can do the same things that he's doing, or even sometimes hopefully better. I feel like being able to kind of compare yourself to him, and obviously you don't compare yourself to others, but have that, that foundation of what it really was.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Obviously, everybody knows about my 50-50 my catch rate is, but I feel like getting out of my races a bit receiver good. And like I said, the ability
him since what, 6th grade? And man, you've done me every step of the way.
Man, that's a testament to my basketball and my volleyball background. Being able to high point the ball, and at the end of the day, I can have a high vertical, but it's about timing. I got to beat the ball before the defender gets through. So yeah, huge testament to those sports.
Chad, you're a guy.
For me, you put any challenge in front of me, anything in front of me, I'm gonna break right through it. I think that's what emulates.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, of course, you don't ever want to hear other coaches or the teams that you potentially want to play for talk bad about you. But at the end of the day, it's their job to find the pros and cons of my game, and it's a business decision for them, and I totally get it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have.
Am I still rolling?
Yes, sir.
I'm still rolling.
I met with the Jets, and like I said about Brian Thomas, you got to have a good receiver on the other side to produce. So that would be lovely to play with him for sure. That's obviously there's obviously the best of the best. Past MVP Patrick Mahomes, former MVP this past year Josh Allen, but I'm really looking forward to catching balls from the rookie quarterbacks. You want to have a quarterback that you can be with for a long time, and I'm definitely looking forward to that.
A lot of people question the athlete.
Let's see, Jamar, Justin. I put Malik up there, Brian Thomas, and AJ Brown.
Of all the highlight catches you.
There's no one specifically currently that I looked up to or modeled my game after, but I can say in the past, it's definitely been Larry Fitzgerald.
Have you spoken to anybody?
Yes, I spoke to him.
When you play volleyball, were you an outside hitter or did you like going over the line?
I played opposite, but I feel like I was pretty versatile in volleyball. I was able to pass, I was able to hit and block. So, volleyball is real dope.
Describe your love for the game.
Just a super competitive person. Ready to play the best in the world. This is the highest level you can possibly play in this game, and being able to play the best in the world and the best to do it in this game is something I look forward to and gets me excited to play.
Ted, when you look at a potential NFL career, what's a successful career for you?
We always chasing greatness. Yeah. So at the end of the day, motto I live by is great, not good. And shout out to Coach Bobby for letting me in on that one. But at the end of the day, I want to be one of the best to ever play this game.
Of all your highlight catches, which one's your personal favorite?
I'll probably say UTEP my sophomore year.
Why that one?
I don't know. I just think it looked cool.
It did, right?
You and Noah decided to stick it out in Arizona for the new coaching regime. What's your relationship like with him, and why did you want to sit together and play together?
Oh man, that's my dog, man. So Noah Fifita, my best friend. And, I've been catching a touchdown from him for the last 8 years. So, not too many people can say that they caught a ball from their. They play youth and high school and college together with their best friends. So being able to just enjoy my time in college, enjoy my time with him, and just being able to play with him, it's a blessing. I'm just glad that I stayed one more year with my dog.
What's the thing that
I think just understanding coverages, being able to read coverages, understanding.
No, I haven't met with the Lions, and I feel like people look at me as a big receiver, and which I am. I'm physically dominant, but at the end of the day, I'm able to run every route in the route tree. I'm able to play inside or outside, and I feel like a lot of people, a lot of teams are sleeping on that right now.
Understanding coverage, one thing I would say I have to work on is just press release.
Specifically the rookie year, I would say just the longevity, just being able to be available, dependable, coachable throughout this whole season. A lot of people say that your first year in the league is the longest, so I'm just looking forward to this long season.
Hey, Tina, I talked with Cowling last year, and he was really impressed by your leadership from day one. You stepped on campus, and you were leading the entire room. Can you talk about how you went from the highest pedigree recruit ever for Arizona to leader immediately?
Athletic things.
Like you said, I was the highest recruit in Arizona history. And I feel like at the end of the day, you kind of have a job being the highest leader, the highest recruit and a leader on the team just to lead. But I wouldn't say I'm a hoorah guy, and I'm not usually the first one to break down the huddle. But at the end of the day, I'm a pro, and I lead by example.
Have you met with the Bucs this week?
No, I have not.
You mentioned
So what?
Are you going to participate in college girls under 40?
No, sir. No, sir.
You mentioned.
Shoot, to be honest, I wanted to wear number 11 in high school, but I was taken, so I had no choice but to go for it. T-Mac.
All right, so you mentioned the league gave you award. He became one of the big stars in New York. New York's not for everybody. If you were on the Giants or the Jets, either one, how do you think you would handle New York?
I think I would love it. You know, I feel like I'm a very diverse person. I'm able to be put in any locker room, any place in the world, and I feel like I can adjust to it. And at the end of the day, you know, that's part of the football game. You know, it don't matter where I play, whether it's hot, whether it's cold. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we want to win, and so we want to be great.
Have you met with the Dolphins?
No, I have not.
I've been with the Raiders, and I think Coach Carroll will be awesome.
That would be awesome. I think I can learn a lot from him. I think it's great.
Have you had any formals so far?
No, I have not.
Nick, have you met with the Cincinnati Bengals yet?
Yes.
How'd that meeting go?
Well. I really like their coach, so that'd be a potential great place to go.
And talk to me a little bit about, you know, you had one of the highest workloads at the collegiate level. How do you think that prepared you for what you could potentially do at the NFL level?
Yeah, I think it's built my stamina, you know, my longevity, my durability during the season. I think it's going to be a great thing for me going to the next level.
And talk to me a little bit, I mean, you played only 2 years at wide receiver. What more do you feel like, what's the next level you can get to, and what are you trying to tell, you know, NFL teams about that?
I think just continuing to develop my route running ability, getting off the ball, and then my hands. You know, I'm a new receiver, but it's still, I think I'm a really good receiver, and I'm here for a reason. So.
And what would a successful NFL career be for you?
10 plus years, you know, win a couple of Super Bowls, that'd be awesome.
Best of luck.
Does the NFL talk to you about how they envision using you when you talk to teams?
Not really. I think, no, they haven't talked to me about it.
Do you have a preferred role, a way that you would like to be used in the NFL?
No, I think I want to go in this first year and just do whatever I need to do to be on a 53-man and help the team win.
Is there a guy in the NFL that you comp your game to, or you pattern your game after?
Yeah, like I said earlier, Devontae Adams, he runs really smooth routes. He's really good at getting off the ball, and I think I try to watch him and see what he does to create so much space in his game.
Is there a game or moment that you point to show teams that you can really compete and succeed at the next level?
Yeah, I would say Washington State. I think that I was really flowing that game. You know, I had those deep balls, I had those under balls, back shoulder balls, going up and getting balls. Yeah.
Nick, what wide receiver drill is the one you think is most applicable to making you a better player?
Probably like release drills, and then just working like footwork drills on ladders. You know, trying to get off the ball.
What's your favorite play you made because of something you spotted about a particular player or a defense on tape?
I think Oregon State, they were rolling into this cover 3 look that I'd seen earlier in the game, and I actually turned to my quarterback, Walker Eaton, at the time, and I told him, I was like, hey, we're in cover 3, so I need to get this ball, and he got it to me on time right behind the backer's head. It was pretty cool.
Are you doing everything here, all testing?
Yes.
What do you have as far as goal, as far as
I think anything under 4.6 would be good for me. I think, you know, people don't think I'm that fast. I'm not a blazer, but, you know, in my opinion, I am.
Why don't people think you're a really good athlete, Nick?
I think it's because I run so smoothly. I'm a really smooth runner, so it doesn't look like I'm going fast, but I think it's deceptive speed.
I'm going to throw a name at you this way time. You most remind me of a guy named Amani Toomer, who, you know, a million years ago.
Okay.
But I would urge you to watch it.
Yeah. I think I recognize the last name Toomer. Where did he play?
College or pro? Pro Giants. On the Super Bowl team.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. Was he with Eli Manning?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I remember watching him.
You're still refining your game. As you said, you're relatively new to the position. What is the thing you think you're already strongest at?
I think my route running is really smooth. I think I'm really good at getting in and out of breaks, and I also have really natural hands.
Yeah, you do.
Position.
Yeah, you do.
You had an extremely productive season this year, obviously, but there's still doubts swirling about that due to the strength of your conference. What would you say to people who doubt the validity of your production due to that? How would you advocate for yourself on that front?
Yeah, I mean, I think I showed that I can play with good enough players at the East-West game. I had a really productive few days out there. And, I just say check the tape over there and see me going against guys that are in better conferences.
When you're watching DBs on tape to prepare for a game, what are some of the biggest tells that you look for consistently?
Just whether or not they're going to be really handsy at the line or if they're going to kind of slough off. Just how physical they are in general. And, they like to cheat on certain plays. They like to, play up, sit back and play up on those short routes.
And how are you changing your game based on if they're a little more aggressive or if they're sitting back?
If they're a little bit more aggressive, I'm just ready for it with my hands. And then also, I like to kind of speed release those kind of guys because it's a little bit easier.
The Rams.
Share the satisfaction between catching a touchdown pass or throwing a block on the edge and your running back scores the touchdown.
I think they're very similar, honestly. It's fun because that's not what everybody sees, but you go back in the film and watch it with your coach, and it's like almost more pride in throwing a block for a touchdown than scoring yourself.
And how are you growing in that area? Because obviously you didn't, you haven't been blocking forever, but I see growth. What are you working on in that area?
I think it's just a mindset. I think it's just you have to want to do it. You have to care enough to do it. Obviously there's drills you can do to help with that, but I think mostly it's mindset.
What's the favorite block you've ever thrown?
I would say New Mexico. I got called for a flag, but they appealed it because it wasn't a flag. But I got a little shoulder in there. It was a touchdown spring block for Carter.
What's the favorite play call? When there's obviously you're a big part of the offense. You, as you said, and you attack all three levels. Even though people don't think you're a burner, you get deep. But what's your favorite? It's a play that's got to happen. We have to have it. What's your favorite play call?
I would say our switch double post. We ran it against Washington State. Actually scored against it. It's just a really good cover four beater, and I'm able to get on top of that safety once he bites on that under, and we had a lot of success with that play.
Who's put the biggest hit on you? You could practice or a game.
I would say it was Boise State. I forget what his name is, but it was one of their linebackers.
I know you're talking about. Saw the game.
Yeah. Okay. On that little under route. Yeah. That was hurting for the rest of the season. So.
But you popped right back up, though.
Yeah. I always pop back up. Always.
How much your quarterback background helped you as wide receiver?
Oh, I think it's helped a ton. Just understanding the offense as a whole and the scheme as a whole has helped me a lot in understanding whether or not I'm trying to get myself open or I'm trying to get my teammate open, perhaps. And we had a lot of those rub routes last season, so that helped me a lot.
How would you describe your game?
I think it's weird because I can play big and small. I think I can be a burner at times and get low enough to beat those guys on deep balls. But once I beat them on those deep balls, I can go up and again.
You have had the opportunity to play against a lot of guys. People may knock the competition. You played against 4 or 5 guys in your career already in the NFL. Who was the guy that you learned the most from as a defensive back you went against?
I would say McCoy from Boise State, number 7. He was a good player.
What made him special?
He was just really patient, and he got the best of me a couple times. That was a fun one. It was a competitive one for me.
Thank you so much, Nick.
After we get done. I've been a part of some really explosive offenses. I've been a part of a lot of winning teams, and it's helped me with my the way that I see the field within a process, the way that I anticipate and play on time, and so. And the best part is I'm still growing and learning, and so I have a lot of opportunity to learn at the next level. I can't wait to be coached and continue to learn and get better, and so I'm just excited for this opportunity. It means everything. I mean, honestly, it just Indiana's like I said is on the ride, so I don't think I'll be the first in a while. I think someone else is going to come, and even next this year, but obviously Nick Suffield being one of the greats from IU, it means a lot to be included in that conversation, and I'm just happy the Hoosiers are being recognized.
Nathan, I don't know if you.
Just honestly that he's a very genuine guy, and what you guys see, in the media is who he is, and he's a winner. He knows what it takes to win, and he's got a formula. I don't know how he does it, but it's pretty impressive.
Nathan, see big growth in your. If you've, I don't know if you've talked to Fernando Mendoza at all or not, but as somebody who has, as a quarterback, had to absorb a lot of Coach Cighetti's, sort of system and style really quickly. What would you tell a quarterback stepping in are kind of the most important things at this time of year to make sure you're prepared for the season?
Yeah, I mean, he's, I've known him a little bit through his younger brother as well, and so I knew him before he was being recruited by IU, and he's a talented guy, and kind of be in the same situation where he's, we both played a lot of ball before coming to IU. Just, I just tell him just trust yourself, trust your training. You walk into a great staff, great coach, and great scheme, and so absorb as much as you can, but just revert back to what you're training, and the reason you're there is because you're talented enough, and just don't have to overthink it. Just go in and play ball.
How have you changed your footwork so much? Thank you.
No, I can guard him, but he absolutely can guard me. That's all.
It was funny too because we were walking and Corey was like, "We're still here," and then literally the second time he goes, "Oh, there's that."
Wait, just because I see soccer.
I mean, maybe.
All set?
The legendary D. Orlando Ledbetter, Clarence Hill, Aaron Wilson, all in one place. Pardon me?
Who are you getting right now?
Let me see. Who's coming up next at what podiums? Oh, here we go. We've got, let's see. Too far, too close, too close, too far. I don't know. I'm going to try to get to maybe Hampton, maybe Genty. Let's see what happens.
Genty's going to be mobbed.
Yeah, that's going to be ridiculous. If I can't get to those two, and hopefully I can't get to one or the other, I'm going to definitely get to Bentley and Yarns.
Yeah, I'm going to go Caleb Johnson.
Caleb's fun also. And then in the next group,
Jenkins and Martinez are going to be.
Oh, Jenkins I'm trying to definitely get to.
Ali, Sampson.
Ali's going to be hard to get to, but I'm definitely going to get to Damian Martinez if I can as well.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting as well.
Tune's an interesting kid. Of course, I talked to him a lot already.
Yeah.
Let's see. So what podium is? I'm going to start staking out podiums. 4. Yeah. 4. Okay.
Have a good one.
You too, sir.
You could approach it a different way, maybe.
Right.
But
I think
He's funny. He's a
talk to Atlanta maybe once after the season? Like after he got benched. Never again. Never again. Even the AJC guy who went down for he's over. He's over. So it's messy. It's a messy.
So, waiting now for the running backs to start arriving. We should start seeing them pop up soon. Hopefully, start seeing them pop up soon. Let's see. We've got R.J. Harvey, and of course, the legendary Emory Hunt is going to pounce on him in a moment. Speaking of legends, Travis May is going to fire a question in a moment at Marion Hampton. Mr. Hampton's done his homework. And over in a corner, they've secreted Shedeur Sanders over that way, but it's, past the ropes. So you can kind of sort of see him over in that little corner. But yeah, they've got him, sort of away from the general public. Yeah, well, there's nothing really to see right here, right now. It was, so, like I said, other than the, let's go sweep. There's Teron Davenport over there. But yeah, it's a lull between position groups, so there's nothing yet. But Hampton is one of the backs that should be. Yeah. Okay. Well, I got a chance to talk a lot to Nick Nash, and I was happy about talking to Nick because I don't get why people aren't higher on him. He's not 4'4". He may not even be a 4'5" guy. My guess is 4'5" 6 to 4'6" anything under. I guess I can swap this thing around. So since we have a lull, since we have a little bit of a lull, so far, Nick Nash really impresses me. Of course, obviously, when you talk to guys that played a lot of quarterback, you get the quarterback IQ. The knock, people mention level competition. He's played with quite a few guys who are going to play in the NFL. I don't have a problem with that. And then, what else to tell you? Nick Nash is a good football player. And, if people can get excited about Luke McCaffrey, and he was minimally productive, right, frankly, as a college receiver, then you should be over the moon about a guy like Nick Nash, who is incredibly productive. And yes, he's going to run. I'm hoping he runs 4.56. I bet he's hoping he runs 4.56. If he does, he should make some money. Or anything faster than that, he definitely makes some money. And if he runs 4.6, so 4.6, a low 4.6, 4.59 for a guy named Jerry Lee Rice. So, type of receiver he is, and like I said, my comp for him is Amani Toomer. He doesn't have to run 4.4. But we're waiting for the switch over between. Oh, who did Shedeur say back? He didn't. Shedeur asked me what team I was from, and then, sort of playfully, and then said, he doesn't want to give away any information about what his favorite passing concepts are against cover 3 match zone. Third and 8, got to have it in the high red zone. So he's playing the game. You can tell he's had a lot of PR training. He didn't get too many hardball football questions, and I guess they told him not to answer those. Or he decided himself on the fly not to answer those. But either way, he did not really answer my question. He's an engaging young man. You can tell he's grown up, like I said, literally around cameras and microphones since he was an infant. And he handles himself well with the media, which should be a surprise to nobody. Got a chance to also get one question off to Teteroa McMillan, who is... He's also going to divide some rooms. He's most people's either number 1 or maybe some people might have him as low as number 3, but I think he's either 1 or 2 on almost everybody's wide receiver board. And the reason he's number one for most is just because enormous catch radius, great hands, doesn't care about people getting physical with him, doesn't care about taking hits. I think he's going to run well. Maybe he doesn't run 4.4. Maybe he's low 4.5s. Anything, once again, for him, 4.48 would be fantastic. 4.54 is okay. In the high 4.5s, he opens the door now for other guys, Luther Burden and other guys, to maybe, start to maybe walk him down as wide receiver 1, because now he feels more like a possession receiver. Let's see. Saw Nathan work a little bit. That's a guy that I like more than most people. I liked his brother, who's up in the CFL right now, also more than most people. I think Nathan's probably a high-level backup at the NFL level. Talked to who else? A couple of the wide receivers who are like later round guys for the most part. But just because you're a late round guy doesn't mean you're not going to make a great impact. Once again, there's been lots of late round receivers. Some of the top receivers in the league were 5th round, 4th round, 3rd round. So people have been tending to focus so much on the first couple of rounds that it could be, I don't know, a little too myopic, a little too focused on just that first 2 rounds of the draft. But look at the Rams, right? When the Rams made their Super Bowl run, it was free agents, a superstar first-round draft pick, obviously, and Aaron Charles Rodgers. But look at the rest of that team. It's mid-round and later-round prospects because, obviously I won't, fully give you the Les Snead quote about them picks, but, it's rhymes with duck, and he decided to get rid of a lot of early-round picks, and here we go. Marion.
What's going on?
Good to see you, and I used to live on Franklin Avenue many years ago. Yeah, first time I ever saw a football game was at the old stadium. NC State, UNC, we won, and there was a record set that game by Don McCauley.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'm a million years old. You don't know who Don McCauley is. But don't worry about that. The question is, people are questioning you in the passing game. What have you been working on to show people that you're a good receiver?
Really just working all like on the off season, really just working on my technique, working on different things, getting with Coach Port and everything, and just working on things I can do better. Sometimes I can get lower, I can put my hands in a better place. So just noticing all that, learning off of it, and then just building on that is really was one of the things I did.
What's your favorite passing concept of the things you have done?
Really just one-on-one pass blocks. I feel like I can learn the best doing that. So I feel like the more I do that, I feel like the more I get better at it. So I feel like that's mainly what I do.
Even as a true freshman, you had I think 200-plus yard games almost immediately. Was there a moment where you kind of knew, okay, hey, I could be on my way to the NFL?
Yeah, I definitely just coming into it because I started playing like as a freshman, like you said. So it was definitely something I had to get adjusted to. But just the older guys like British Brooks, all those guys, they took me under their wing. They said like, you got something special, and they showed me the way. So yeah.
Marin, what was it like for you watching Drake May in the NFL this year?
It was amazing. Drake May, that's my guy. Yeah, he's a dog. So just seeing him do what he's doing right now is just amazing to see.
What would it be like for you to get to play with him in the NFL potentially with the Patriots?
Yeah, it would be amazing. Just being around him all the time. When he was at UNC, he always had me under his wing. So it would be an amazing experience.
Have you met with the Patriots at all?
A little bit.
How'd that go?
It was straight. It was good.
Marion, what makes you the best running back?
Really, because I'm a 3-down back. I can do everything. I can pass block. I can catch out the backfield. I can make defenders miss in the 3rd level. So I can really do everything.
Oh, man, what's
it would be amazing. It would be amazing just to be down there. So whatever team picks me, I feel like I'm gonna do my best to help them win the Super Bowl.
What's some players that you try to model your career after?
Mm-hmm.
What's some players, running backs in the NFL right now that you try to look after?
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of people just taking tips off almost everybody, really, just looking at different people's film and stuff like that. I watch a lot of, I like Joe Mixon's running style. That's one of them. And then obviously Saquon, he's a very good runner. I feel like Jamar Gibbs has his own type of run style. So, I just be watching everybody, just taking tips off them.
What do you bring to an NFL offense?
Really just a leader. I'm gonna bring it every day. So I mean, I'm gonna be a leader on the field, just setting the tone every day, and then doing everything I can to help my team win the Super Bowl.
Talk about your development out of Johnston County. Talk about your development and your roots in Johnston County.
Really just growing up in Johnston County, I feel like it's a lot. It's kind of a small town, so it's like everybody knows everybody. So just growing up with those guys and then having that experience, everybody has their back and stuff like that. So it's been an awesome experience.
Amar, do you think it was helpful to be?
Monsters production in college. What do you say to any scouts that question the level of competition you guys face?
Really, I just feel like I was getting the ball so many times, so I feel like sometimes I was getting tackled in the backfield, but I had to make that man miss and then eliminate yards of loss. So I mean, just if you watch the film, you'll definitely see it.
Do you mean with the Cowboys?
Who's your running back like prepared to the backfield?
Someone I would like to be paired with. Let's see. I feel like there's a lot of them. I feel like me and Joe Mixon would be crazy. I feel like Najee Harris, me and Najee Harris would be crazy. It's a lot of them. I can get on the list, yeah.
What do you like about Mixon's game? You mentioned him a couple times. Have you met with the Texans?
Yeah, I like his game a lot. Just the way he plays and stuff like that. Just he's a contact. He loves contact. He can make a miss. He can really do everything. Really.
Have you met with Houston?
A little bit. I talked to a few of those coaches. Yeah.
Speaking of contact, you're one of the best running backs in the class at adding yards after contact. How do you do that?
It's really just a mindset. You just gotta 4th and 1. You know you gotta get it. When you're 1-on-1 with a defender, you know you gotta make him miss. So it's really just a mindset thing. Yeah.
What's your favorite short yardage play you've ever made?
Probably Wake Forest.
Why that one?
Yeah, it was the game was on the line. We was in the goal line, and they was just handing the rock off to me. They kind of leaned on me in that situation, so I knew I had to make something miss.
Amarian, do you think it's going to be helpful that you took part in Drake's Pro Day last year and kind of got a taste of all of this? That you took part in Drake's Pro Day, Drake May's Pro Day last year. Do you think that's going to be helpful that you got a little taste of all of this with that?
Yeah. It was definitely a cool experience just to be there with Drake May and stuff like that. I feel like it helped me learn like how the process was going to be, especially during Pro Day, just catching with him and stuff like that. So I feel like I'm blessed with the opportunity.
What do you think you improved on the most during your last year of college?
I would say just learning the defense, learning what the defense is going to do before the play even starts, learning like where the safeties are aligned, learning like where blitzes are coming from. So I mean, just understanding the defense more, understanding my offense more. I feel like I've grown in that area.
Did you meet with the Cowboys? Did you meet with the Cowboys?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Formal?
Yes, sir.
What was that meeting like?
It was amazing just to get to know those guys, get to know the coaches and everything. Yeah, it was real good.
Have you met with the Broncos here? You met with the Denver Broncos here?
I met with several coaches over here. Yeah.
Will you be testing tomorrow?
Yeah, I was planning on doing everything.
Do you have any goals for the 40?
Run fast. Just run fast. Yeah.
What's the biggest feedback you've gotten from the NFL team this week?
Sir?
What's the biggest feedback you've gotten from the NFL team this week?
Really just to take it day by day, have fun with this whole process and everything. Just enjoying the whole thing because you're at the combine. So I mean, I met with several teams. I met with several.
Amarian, could you walk us through your process in pass protection, like the technique you try to use, the IDing blitzers, just your thought process during that?
Yeah, just trying to get loaded. It's a leverage battle, so trying to get loaded in them, getting your hands inside, get under the vehicle neck. So I really just taking all those notes down and then learning off that really.
And how much pride as a running back do you take in pass pro?
A lot of pride. You got to protect the quarterback. That's the main thing. So I mean, you can't be on the NFL. You can't play on this level if you can't pass ball.
We talk about the importance that film study plays in your elusiveness when you're making decisions on cuts, whether to take it inside or off the sideline.
Yeah.
Is that more of an instinctual thing, or is that something you're seeing about a linebacker or a safety's range on film?
Yeah. Just I feel like it's more instinctive. Just knowing what you got to do to make that man miss. When you get those one-on-one battles, you know you got to make him miss. So I mean, that's your job.
With all the attention that's been paid to Ashton Jeanty over the last year in this pre-draft process, do you kind of feel like you're getting slept on or overlooked at all?
No, I love it. Just how the running backs are coming together overall, like Saquon, Derrick Henry. I mean, I've been talking to Ashton. Yeah, he's real good. That's my guy. So I mean, yeah, I'm excited to see it. Just the running backs coming all together.
What's the favorite?
Have you heard anything from teammates back at UNC about their new hikes?
Yeah. They said they like it. It's definitely new, different workouts, whole new coaching staff, whole new strength staff. So I mean, they're liking it so far.
How do you think he's gonna immediately change the culture at UNC?
It's gonna be more NFL-like. I talked with him a few times. He's gonna bring in like some people from the Patriots, some people from like different NFL teams to make it more like NFL-like. So I'm excited to see what happens.
What's the favorite? Saquon and their injury, the success that they had this year, how do you think that will impact rookies like yourself as far as running backs playing every side?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just like whoever, like most of the teams in the playoffs had a good running back, so I feel like most of the teams will now see that and stuff and value the position more. So I feel like I'm just excited for it, and we just got to add on to that.
Were you ever concerned that while you were running back in like middle school, high school, you saw that they weren't using running backs like they used to? Did you ever consider changing position? Like, did they ever worry that you wouldn't get a chance at running back?
No, it didn't worry me. I just knew that we was the one that's gonna have to make a change, but since Saquon and Derrick Henry, they already starting on it. So I mean, we're just adding on.
What's the favorite catch you've ever made in your career, and why that one?
Sorry?
What's the favorite catch you've ever made in your career, and why that catch?
Probably say sophomore year, Georgia Tech. The game was kind of on the line. It was fourth quarter, and then it was just a simple check down. But I mean, I had to make the catch to keep the game going. So I feel like that's definitely one of the best catches.
Talk more a little bit about what value does pass blocking and being an outlet in the receiving game. What value does that add?
I feel like that adds a lot because I feel like it's kind of like my second both right now, right now, but when I got done with short, I should get I'm not really big into the side.
Oh yeah, yes sir. Yeah, I mean, it would mean the world to be drafted by any of these 32 teams. Get done with me on Sunday. I mean, put the game plan in right. Put our offensive plays in right. And then we're breaking down film and what type of defense we're going against. And we'll start mix down plays. What coverages, what blitzes, what fronts are missing, mix down. Then we're moving in second and long. Go through that same process. Second and short. Down, third and long. Then I look up to low red zone, very high, very bad. That exact same process. And then me personally, myself, I'll watch film, on their defense, right? Watch how they tackle. Watch how their D-line plays, their linebackers, their safeties. Think about how they might play against me in that sort of way. You got to take care of your body, obviously, right? So if you're not available for your team, then you really have no value, right, that week. So being available for my teammates, for my team, and just being ready to go. And once you put the game plan in, and mentally you're confident, that's where it comes from for your preparation, and then just go cut it.
I mean, a little bit like what you see in the media is not always.
Sorry, can you speak up, sir?
I think that it is, but I think everyone knows the true importance of a running back, and that it's very important. And game can be played without one.
Yeah, this process has been great. I mean, all the running backs. There's a lot of great running backs here. So talking to them, picking their mind. That's cool. Talking to all the different teams. Seeing philosophies, how they think. Breaking down my own film. Seeing all the good plays, but also seeing some plays. Where I could be better. In the interview. Just getting to talk about my story and who I am as a person.
Running back skills,
Say that again.
Out of high school, I have to pass protection.
I feel really comfortable. Obviously, it's going to be a lot different starter guys, but the work that I put in, I'm prepared and get better and better at it each day, and be able to pick up those questions.
Trying to make sure that I'm staying as a person.
I thought it was dope. I didn't think he was actually going to go listen to him, but John Hood, he's a great guy, funny guy. So that was definitely funny. So I had to put him on to the culture. I'm good.
His presence was enough.
a guy like Christian Barkley who has gotten the running back position?
Rank is a rank. Is people feel how they feel about me, but I mean, as long as I feel great about myself, that's all that matters.
Do you worry you can pull off the backwards hurdle?
Yeah, I don't think I can pull off that hurdle. That just shows how special Saquon is. But he did a great job putting on for all the running backs, and it's a great time, to be coming in this league. And, as I can see, the value of running backs is definitely going to go back up. So definitely coming back in at a perfect time. But not just him, but all the guys doing exceptional things in the NFL. But also right here in my draft class, a lot of great running backs here as well.
What's the favorite?
Yeah, I think versus Washington State, I broke I think 8 or 9 tackles. Took it 60 yards, but the play kind of broke down. Wasn't blocked perfectly, but I was able to make guys miss and turn something that could have possibly been a negative into a positive. A touchdown.
All right, thanks, Ash.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ashton.
Martinez is coming here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll hang out here. So we'll be seeing Damian Martinez shortly. Yep, there we go. Boom, placard. So that's official. Good to see you.
Yeah, you too.
The more I see of Nick Nash, the more I think people are not
talking about him.
I don't like. How do you not see a guy who's only been playing receiver that short amount of time and does what he
put
does
up those numbers.
and not
He was a QB before.
right? And you can tell because how super football smart he is. But if you can get excited about Luke McCaffrey, who's a better athlete, I get it, but nowhere near the receiver. Nowhere near the receiver.
True.
I mean, you're talking about a sort of similar path, right? Quarterback to receiver, but McCaffrey was a guy that literally had half the career. Literally half the career in production.
It's the small school thing, but Luke McCaffrey came from Rice, didn't he?
Before he transferred up, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
transferred up?
Well, he transferred a few times. He started his career at, was it Michigan? Where did he start?
I know his brother was at Michigan. Dylan.
Right, Dylan was at, where did he start? He started someplace, not Stanford.
It was somewhere. It was a bigger school.
Yeah.
I knew Rice for sure.
He was at Rice. He was like 3 different schools, I think. It's hard to keep track nowadays. But yeah, he was at Rice. He was at
Nebraska.
Thank you. That's where it was. And it was Nebraska and Rice. Yeah, because I remember first time in Nebraska, and he was originally going to try for quarterback. And in a couple of years, then it was like, oh, maybe this quarterback thing won't happen.
But it is that notion. Nick Nash doesn't have the McCaffrey last name.
He doesn't have the last name, but he's got, other than blazing speed, he's got everything else you want in a receiver. If he runs 4.56. More than just that, they're going to get if he's your wide receiver 3, you've got an elite level wide receiver 3. If he's wide receiver 2, he's got a really good wide receiver 2. But elite wide receiver 3.
For our Latino media outlet, so it's going to be fun.
Oh, there we go, yeah. Por la raza.
Well, because, they develop doing the...
So you are, Carlos, you are with...
Oh,
sorry. I'm going to have to check it out. Do you guys have I would call it Twitter, but
X, Instagram, and they actually have their own website as well.
what's your Twitter handle or X or whatever the heck it is?
My personal one is Carlos Talks NFL, just
Cool.
like that.
And the website is
Oresquina, Ouresquina.
And then I know who you're with, but I've already forgotten. It was
Carter Landis. I'm with SI for
Las
Las Vegas Raiders
Las
and
Vegas
Michigan
Raiders
State.
and
And
Michigan
Michigan State.
That's a wonderful combination.
Yeah, I'm from Michigan. I went to MSU. Our
Got
boss
it.
condos the Raiders and came from MSU. So
Got it.
It's great. It's great. It's kind of an on your own time thing. It's a lot of work, but it's what you love. So it's a lot of fun.
Right. When it's what you love, it's not quite as hard.
Yeah, I'm comfortable Michigan State. So, even Jonathan Smith did not end on good terms, but I want to see where they're at.
Yeah, there you go.
In fact, there he is right now.
There we go.
They told me 7.
So, hey, Damien. Growing up in a Latino household, did you ever have to run away from the chancla?
Wait, grew up in a Latino household.
Yeah, they switched them up. They switched it.
They told me 7. I'm Dylan Sampson.
Yeah, you
Went
were.
to, Tennessee.
Yeah. I was gonna help him out.
I was gonna say, wait a minute.
But that's interesting.
Run from the chancla.
He did not.
Yeah, right?
I had to take that right now.
Let's do it.
Here we go.
No, I should have helped you out.
Dylan, being one of the most explosive backs.
So where did they put Damien?
I was gonna say.
Did they switch him? Is that what they did?
Yeah, they switched him.
Oh, yeah. That happens.
That's gonna make some rounds.
Yeah. Hey, but engagement's engagement. There we go. Right? It would be awesome if he went with it.
It was great.
Mamita,
They switched him out. So, I know he said something like that, and I was like,
yeah, he was saying they told me to go. And he was saying that because that was not where he was really supposed to go.
that makes sense.
But yeah, he's a good running back too. But no, he and the Chancla are not connected or relatable. At me? Oh, okay. Okay. So we are now correctly at Damian Martinez, who is not out yet. He's now at 6. He was originally supposed to be at 7. So in a moment, that's where Damian will be. And he's one of my favorite of the bigger backs. He and my two 225 plus pound guys amongst the running back group are Damian Martinez, who we should be seeing momentarily, and Ollie Gordon. And then Hampton's just a little bit below those guys in terms of just pure size. He's probably right there with them in terms of talent. But Martinez is a guy who started his career at Oregon State, transferred to Miami, just got finished playing with Cam Ward. You could see it, a little bit of that Steven Jackson kind of stuff in him when you saw him at Oregon State, not just because of the uniform, because of the way he was used and his body type, right? He's a bigger back. He is another one of those backs that 4.57 is not bad for a guy because of his size, but if you want to see anything faster than that, he should make money. Let's see. Yeah, Dylan Sampson is actually on the podium where originally Damian Martinez was supposed to be, who was also a thick, powerful, smaller back, but thick and powerful, has the ability to break tackles, can even be used in special teams as a return specialist. And his growth areas for Dylan are probably things like picking up blitzes, being more effective in protecting his quarterback in the passing game, and of course, like most of these guys, catching the ball more often, catching the ball better. And now we're going to get, I think, the real thing. Here we go. We should be, yep, here he is, on his way.
Just come up here. This one's Oakland.
Yes, here we go. For real this time. Yes.
Damien, growing up in a Latino household, did you ever have to run away from the chancla?
Yeah, my grandma all the time.
You think it made you a better running back?
I guess you could say so.
Damien, transferring to Miami this offseason, quickly you became a fan favorite amongst the Canes fans. Being able to go out, perform, and put on that uniform every day. In such a short amount of time, what did you learn about being a Miami fan?
I mean, really learned it quick, just on a practice field, just being on Green Street, talking about all the time, all the legends that came through there. And the Kane family, just was what it was. Brought it to practice every day, brought that energy, just wanted to be like those guys.
What can we expect from you tomorrow? Are you running the 40? Are you doing drills? And if so, what are you trying to display?
Just so I can, run. Everybody want to see my long speed. So at 40, what I'm really looking forward to for sure.
Damien, coming from Corvallis to Miami, you were used differently in the passing game. Could you guide us through the things that were different in the things you're asked to do as a receiver and the Oregon State offense versus Miami's offense?
It was just, obviously a whole new scheme, just being able to show my, pass catching ability and pass protection, just being more under center at Oregon State and then more shotgun spread at Miami. Just really about it, just a whole different scheme, just being able to, do that.
What were your favorite passing concepts in the first offense versus the last offense?
More play action at Oregon State, and then over here, being able to motion out of the backfield, be out as a receiver, one receiver, three receiver, wherever they need to be lined up.
What's really the best catch you ever made?
Probably against Florida State, caught a hitch, and just get it finger out.
Damien, you playing at Oregon State, obviously you guys went against Cam Moore, Washington State before you became teammates. What was it like watching him play when you were growing up against him, and then how did those views change or anything like that when you got to be teammates last year?
I guess it was just crazy, kind of knowing what's going through his head, how calm and just confident he is, being at Oregon State, watching him, just seeing him tear up defenders and then being in the backfield and just hearing him and be like, watch this game, clap his hands, do what he does. It was crazy, though. It was crazy just watching it.
Damien, I see some James Conner to your game. What do you think of that comp, and who do you try and model your game after?
I try to model my game after kind of, Aaron Foster, Le'Veon Bell, more past running backs. But, yeah, that comparison is pretty nice, too. I kind of get that a lot.
Damien, you had a run against, I think it was Florida, where you kind of just kept your legs churning, broke it off for like 40, 50 yards. Can you talk about your motor and just how you're able to keep your legs driving?
No, yeah, everybody kind of see how I finish every run play, just hard, like you said, keep my legs running. It was against Florida State, but yeah, no, it's just mentality you got to go with it, and, just who really wants it more, and that's what I like to prove.
Is there a guy on defense for the game that matched that physicality and that motor?
From Miami or?
From Miami, yeah. You just knew that matched that every single rep?
Really the whole defensive front, the whole defense, really everybody. We had that just kind of motor, like I said, on Green Street, going at it every day, one versus one. Just, it was practice today, it was crazy.
Who's the guy going back that we're not talking about right now, but a year from now we'll be talking about Miami?
I don't know. You can really pick whoever. Everybody's got that dog mentality there. Being at the U, you kind of embrace it. Like I said, all the legends coming through there, practicing on Green Street is just hard work every day.
Hey, Damien. Obviously, you grew up in Texas. I'm curious to know, are you a red salsa type of guy or a green salsa type of guy?
I'll go red salsa. Keep it casual. Just not really too much into it, but if I'm using it, yeah.
Obviously, it takes a lot of discipline to play the running back position. We're a Latino channel. I'm curious to know. Obviously, us growing up, we got discipline with a chancla. Did you get disciplined in that way or any unique way like that?
Yeah, just living with my grandparents and my mom, just kind of the same thing. Like I was telling him, yeah.
All right, last one for me. Who are your favorite three running backs in the league right now?
Favorite three in the league right now? I go Saquon, Najee, and James Cook. I like him too. He's nice to run.
You're based out of Texas. What's the best thing about Texas?
Everything bigger in Texas. Texas football. I kind of hear about it just around the country. Really, kind of hear about it. Just just how competitive it is, and all levels. Pee wee, middle school, high school, all levels. Bucky's, yeah. Everybody kind of asked me about that for sure, yeah.
When you were at Oregon State, you got to run a lot more zone. I felt like last year at Miami was a lot more like downhill, dual power stuff.
Yeah.
What do you think your skill set fits best? And like, is there a particular offense you think you'd like to be in the next
No,
level?
I feel like I kind of proved at both places I can run everything pretty well. Just, learning the offense, just whatever it is, whatever coach needs to do, I can get it done.
Can you talk a little bit about that Louisville game? I was there live, and it was kind of I felt like almost a turning point in your season. You kind of even turned it up a notch in the second half. Can you talk a little bit about the preparation that went into that one?
Yeah, no, I mean, just, we had the first 5 games or whatever, just going through that bye week and all the past games we had and just seeing what I needed to do, getting the flow with the offense, just kind of locked into it the last 6 games, like you said.
Damien, you're a true student of the game.
Yeah.
What's your favorite film study play? A play you could only have made because of something you saw on film?
I guess you can go back to that Iowa State game, the last bowl game we just had, kind of what we were implementing into the game plan, just how I was reading it, how I was setting things up. Sure.
What did you see that allowed you to see? Like, what was it you saw that you said, I can take advantage of that?
Just how we were kind of scheming up the blocks, what I knew the receivers were going to do, how I could get to the second level and work them through the defender.
Damien, have you met with the Giants at the combine?
I've pretty much met with every team, yeah.
What's one thing people aren't talking about Cam Ward's game that you got to know him as a teammate?
I mean, everybody kind of talks about Cam Ward. What are they not talking about?
How have teams challenged you during all of these, whether it be formal or informal meetings?
Sorry, can you speak up?
Yeah, how have teams challenged you during this interview process, whether it be formal or informal meetings?
I mean, really just kind of going over things that they have in their own game plan installed, and just watching film with them, kind of breaking it down, just calling things out that they want me to see, or things like that, yeah.
Damien, it maybe didn't end the way you wanted to at Oregon State, but where would you say you are for former coach Jonathan Smith, and what did you see from him at Michigan State?
Can you say that again? Sorry.
It maybe didn't end the way you wanted to at Oregon State, but where would you say your relationship was at with your former coach Jonathan Smith, and what you saw from him at Michigan State this year?
I mean, I didn't really pay too much into those guys, so.
How do you feel about how that played out last year? Because plenty of guys transfer, but not all of them have headlines about dollar signs and things screwing up publicly. So how do you feel about how that process played out last year?
Transfer from Oregon State? Yeah. Going into it, the transfer portal, it wasn't like anything about money, it was just being a better me, showing I could be the best version of me, and I feel like I did that coming out of this season.
I mean, with the way the NFL has transitioned this year, it seems like it's a little bit of a running back renaissance, especially with Saquon Barkley and now the Eagles get to the Super Bowl. Do you feel like it's almost kind of the best time for you to get in the NFL now that it seems like the value of the running back is starting to go up and the importance of getting a good one is starting to go up a little more?
Yeah, I mean, you can see that, like you said, you just got to be able to do everything, like Saquon catch out the backfield, run the ball hard, run it as he wants. You got to be able to do it all, be a true three-down back. I feel like I proved that this year, and just going into tomorrow running that 40, proved that too.
What do you feel like the biggest asset that you hope separates you from what is essentially one of the deepest running back groups you've seen in a very, very long time?
Just how I finish plays, how I finish plays. I don't think anybody wants more than me. Just wanting to prove my best. Feel like I want to do that for sure.
You mentioned being a three-phase running back. What's the best blitz pickup on tape you've ever done?
I don't know. I couldn't really answer that. You really go back and watch any game. I feel like I've been pretty good at just pass pro and just showing it this year, being able to have more reps at it.
And was it a different approach when you were at Oregon State? The things you were asked to do in terms of blitz pickup?
Yeah, just because at Oregon State we were more play action, understand, just not really getting into a pass set or anything like that.
Your ability to run hard, it seemed like it always was there, a natural part of your game. What's something that you had to work really hard on to develop to be a part of your game to add to that?
Like I said, proving I'm a true three-down back, coming into a new scheme, just catching out the backfield. I've always ran hard since I was a little kid, just being big naturally. Just proving I'm a true three-down back, wanting to do that.
Have you met with the Steelers yet, formally or informal?
Was that informal? I haven't done really any formals just because I did all my the recent Senior Bowls.
What was it like?
It was pretty cool. Just getting in front of every team, enjoying the process. Just blessed to be in this position. People would literally give up everything just to be in this position. So just blessed and enjoying it all.
What's the part of your game that you think that you can surprise people the most about that they don't know enough about you?
Just my speed and acceleration. It shows up on tape. Just wanted to prove that tomorrow at 40.
Damian, can you describe the bond you had with fellow Latino players like Xavier Restrepo and Elijah Arroyo? What was that bond like in Miami?
Really, the whole team was close, but yeah, like you said, Elijah being a Texas guy, we're both from the Dallas area, so we was kind of clicked instantly. But yeah, no, it was cool just being around those guys, seeing X make plays in practice in the game. He's just consistent with everything he does.
I know you got to spend 1 year with him, so I don't know how much of his story, his full backstory you know, but if Cam McCormick got the call on draft weekend as a UDFA, what would that mean to you as a teammate? You spent for 9 years, whatever you do know of his backstory.
Yeah, I mean, kind of everybody kind of knows about Cam, but yeah, I mean, it'd be just, as a team, any of my teammates, it feel good just to hear him get his name called. I want all my guys to get their name called for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, Damien.
I'm trying. I actually was even more impressed with what I thought Oregon State out of him, but yeah.
Can he fit in those teams? Yeah. Man, I would say different. I'm not really into the design of things, man, I kind of like to wear a lot of oversized clothes, a lot of shoes like New Balance and Asics and stuff like that. Just comfortable shoes, man. Really laid back style, you know what I mean? And I like jewelry. I like my pieces to mean something, like things like that. But I got to do a story on this necklace for ESPN, and basically it's my initials with number 6. That's my number, but the main part is the rose that runs around the S. I got it from the poem, Concrete Rose by Tupac. And he said, long live the rose that grew from concrete when no one else even cared. And that's just impactful to me because when he said in that poem, he was explaining it. He was like, if you're walking past a rose that grew from concrete, it may not be pretty, like the petals may be falling off, people will marvel at that rose. And he was like, I'm not any different, I may have some bumps and bruises, some nicks, but if you see where I came, you know I came out of it, and I'm still standing here strong. So it's not just reminding me, I feel like it's reminding everybody that we all subject, and we all allowed to go through our own things in life. We all have different experience, and we're allowed to feel that. But, it's our job to take that feeling and just do something positive with it. Just know there's people here that care about you, and stay strong.
Dylan, what's your favorite short yardage tough run you've ever made? Tough run.
Tough run.
Yeah, like where you had to break a couple tackles. Where you had to show some toughness.
I can't remember. I feel like I had a lot of them.
You did. But I want to know your favorite one, though. The one you like the best. Alabama. Good choice. There's Thor.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
How are you doing? Who are you trying to get? Who are you trying to get to next, Thor? Yeah. Oh, this is. Oh my God! I was too close.
Oh, we're going to Fort. We got to camp out.
Yeah, I'm going there too. Okay. We're going this place. Who have you liked so far, Thor?
As far as the interview goes?
Anybody you've talked to so far, yeah, or watched so far.
Explain to you what you're eventually.
Caleb's. I just think people are just way wrong on Nick Nash. I think he's a much better player than people think.
Yeah, but he's gonna run slow.
I know. If he runs 4.56, though, I mean, which is unlikely, but if he does, maybe people will warm up.
Well, so his number went from 4.49 to
4.49.
Wait, no, don't get me on for this.
Okay.
We can't let people know about the number.
I can't say.
No, but he said 4.6 at his 4 interceptions.
I feel like they're really good, especially with Tia and
if he runs 4, he said he was 4.49, and then it shot up to 4.56. We were all
Nobody who knows who he is believes 4.4, whatever thought 4.9. But if you can get yourself excited about, projecting from a guy who's just been playing the position a short amount of time and produces like that,
For sure.
If you just watch
So smart. He does everything reasonably well. Some things very well.
He can make guys miss. He's elusive in the open field. He can
Oh,
make guys
Donovan
miss.
Edwards.
Hey, how you doing? That's underrated.
So that's Donovan Edwards is on that podium, but I'm waiting for the other podium. I talked to Donovan Edwards
You know what? The way I look at it right now is it's just like high school all over again. You know, just proving yourself to coaches, to teams, to players, to staff members that you can do it. You know, and I believe that's in the position I'm right now. And ultimately, I'm grateful for it because it's making me hungry. It's got that fire. I got the fire in my soul and my spirit back again. So I'm ready for every opportunity possible.
What's some advice that's really stuck with you throughout your career?
I would just say not worrying about anything that's out of my control. And Greg Harden taught me that. Yeah.
If somebody 5 favorite running backs, 5 guys you like to watch the most in the NFL right now?
Jahmyr Gibbs, Alvin Kamara, CMC, Derrick Henry, Isaiah Pacheco.
If somebody wants to watch you in blitz pickup, what's the game you show them, Donovan?
One more time.
When someone wants to see you in blitz pickup, what's the game you show them? What's the best game for that?
Oregon, Fresno State, early game. But ultimately, you know, I'm not the most perfect, but I get the job done to a certain extent. Like I've gotten beat a couple of times, but ultimately, I think that I won about 80% of my blocks, and I didn't get the quarterback hurry. So, you know, I did my job in the pass pro area. I feel like that's a big aspect that I got better in my game this year. So, I'm grateful for TA and Freddie J for teaching me what I know about pass pro.
A lot of people thought you could use as a receiver more at Michigan. I mean, how much are you wanting to show that aspect of the game, and what do you think that can for?
Look, man, I'm grateful for everything that I had in Michigan. I was 14 yards away from breaking the record.
Yep.
I really wanted to break that record real bad, but I didn't, and that's okay. I feel like teams know what I'm able to do. I feel like I was utilized really well at Michigan, but ultimately, too, I just want to continue to sharpen my craft every day. Absolutely. Yeah, I feel as though it was our team chemistry and our bond with each other. The fact that a lot of those guys, before I even got there, they went through adversity with each other. And my class specifically, we wanted to go in and we wanted to make Michigan great again. And we wanted to put them back on the map and beat all of our rivals and win Big Ten championships and national championships. So it was just that team chemistry and that dynamic that we had. There was no egos at all. Nobody thought that they were bigger or better than the team or the program. And I feel like that's what you need to be able to have a great culture and to have a winning program.
What do you think the biggest difference was with NIL at Michigan from when you first got there to when you left?
There is, I honestly don't know how it is right now, so can't tell. But NIL, when I was there for the 4 years, nobody player hated on anybody, or nobody else was watching each other's pockets. And, you know, I feel like that's a big cause of destruction once as soon as somebody starts hating on somebody else or thinking that somebody else is not as good as they are to get the money that they rightfully deserve.
What's the best catch you ever made?
I'd probably say Indiana, Rutgers. I apologize. Shedeur in the end zone. Georgia, my freshman year, had a slant and go, and I made an amazing catch there. I feel like I had a lot of great catches. One-handed catch against Ohio State one time for about 5 yards, but I think I got really good hands.
How did you develop your ability to track the ball like that?
All right, let me take you back real quick.
Take me back real quick.
That's my kind of question. So in high school, I wanted to play slot receiver. I never really wanted to play running back. And my head coach, Ron Bellamy, who's the receivers coach
I know exactly who Ron Bellamy. I scouted Ron Bellamy.
No doubt. He told me that he didn't want me playing slot. He wanted me to play running back. So I always worked on my slot receiving skills even before I got into high school. So those just natural abilities continue to stick with me the whole time.
What would you say the biggest differences were between Jim Harbaugh and Carroll running the program?
I mean, they're just both each other. They're both they both have similar qualities, but they're just different in how they run things. But there's nothing to worry about with Coach Moore running the program because he's going to do great things, and the guys love him, and those guys aren't going to let him down at all.
Donovan, you mentioned
just how mature I could become. And, the first couple of years was great. Junior year was hard mentally. And then I just stopped caring my senior year, and I just feel like the progressive growth that Greg Hart and then Fred Jackson and Claiborne Green and Mike Hart, that they instilled in me just to be able to become a better man and to get better every single day and not worry about what other people have going on or what the future holds for me. As long as I can control today and do my absolute best and knowing that, and living without regret, then I know that I did good for myself. So that's what I learned.
Donovan, you mentioned
I mean, I'm sure that I'm not going to get drafted as where I want to go. Like I said before, my sophomore year, I want to go first round. If I'm not going first round, probably not, but I don't care. As long as I get an opportunity to be able to make the most of my opportunities, then that's all that matters. It's not about when you go to the NFL, it's about how long you stay in the NFL. So that's all I want to do is just be able to embrace my opportunities.
Hey, Donovan, obviously it takes a lot to prepare at a high level. Be disciplined. We're Latino channel. Growing up, we got disciplined on content. Curious, did you get disciplined in a unique way growing up?
In a unique way? I mean, I was a bad kid growing up. So yeah, I got disciplined multiple times in my years, but I just feel as though experience is your best friend, and as long as you have positive role models around you that steer you in the right way, then everything's gonna be all right.
Are you a red or green salsa type of guy?
Red or green salsa? I feel like there's a right or wrong answer here.
Well, I'm asking everybody, so we're just kind of doing a poll. No trade.
I'm gonna say red. Yeah. I don't even know if that's the right answer.
Okay, so they switched it up again. Where am I going? So they switched this up?
I guess, yeah.
So where are we going?
What happened? Did they say something about why?
I didn't hear anything. Okay.
We saw someone go to that podium. I don't know what they, and then everybody dispersed.
Okay. So now I'm looking for, okay, so something may be up with Cam Scatabo. They made a switch out again, but didn't tell us what's happening. So I'm going to try to find.
You got to bring it, each and every day, come into work just like Ohio State. I definitely feel like Ohio State, they definitely do a good job of preparing us for that. I just remember even before going through this process, I'll talk to a lot of players before then. A lot of just about how much Ohio State prepared them, for the NFL. And so, yeah. Yeah, I know I took a couple of days off after the national championship, and then right after that, I'm right in Tampa, Florida, and I'm right to it. And so, I think where I trained at Yo Murph Performance. I think it's called the House of Athlete or the Compound now. They did a good job, man, just bringing us in, and the way they went about training us, man, they did a really good job.
Have you met with the Buccaneers this week?
The Buccaneers, no, I haven't.
What do you think of the city of Tampa, though, training there?
Tampa, nice. It's nice. It's a nice city, man.
What aspect of
the 40, the Braun, and the Bird. Man. It's really all about technique, and then it's about mindset as well. And so I say, it's for the love of my brother. It's for the love of Will Howard. It's for the love of the receivers who I got on the perimeter. Just making sure, first of all, my quarterback doesn't get sacked. And I told Will, I think it was before the first game, I was like, I got you, brother. It's, I said, man, I'm not going to let you get hit, and so I don't know if I gave up a sack. I'm not sure of that. But I know if I did, I haven't given up too many. And so, man, it's for the love of my brothers, though, man. Making sure that the ball get in their hands, the guys on the outside, and making sure they get fed.
When you and
in my game, you can't really work on this, in the off season. I feel like it's more so, you got to put the pads on. You got to go through some inside run, maybe. It's really just continue to run through tackles. And so I feel like that's one of the areas in my game I want to continue to get better at. I feel like I did a good job of that my senior year, and so I just want to continue to build on that.
Trayvon.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Trayvon, what?
I did be with New Orleans as well. I never got that comparison actually. I know Alvin Kamara. Shoot, yeah, man, Alvin Kamara, great back, and just what he does in those one-on-one matchups, he's dangerous, man. And he's so smooth. He's so smooth as well. I'm not gonna lie, he's smooth.
Pena.
Yeah. Inside zone from Stack, being able to hit that thing downhill. And I'll say the next one is probably just an option route out of the backfield, in man coverage, getting on that linebacker. And so.
You will hear me in the stadium if it's like a $10,000. I'll be seeing a tweet
Yeah, I say, man, the biggest thing is the way that he carries himself, man, and the way that, he approaches the game. He comes in with the mindset, he's going to work every single week. Every practice, he's working hard. Even, I don't know, every game was a good game for him, man. And so, but still, man, he always has the mentality and the mindset that, he's going to come in each and every day. He's going to continue to work and get better, man. And so he's definitely, man, he's going to be a special player, man. He really is. Man, a lot of ups and downs, man. It's just how you respond to adversity. And I feel like that's something that God has definitely helped me to do better. It's just not have something to lean on now. I remember before I met him, going through those adversity, I had nothing to run to. You can run to people, but they still can't. It's not too much. They can't truly help you. I feel like the only person that can truly help you is your relationship with Jesus Christ. And so being able to lean on him, he gives you, those moments where it's tough, where it's slow. And when you're behind the scenes and you're going through things that people don't know about, he gives you that peace and comfort, even in those moments, man, where it's so hard that you can't explain. It's like, man, I'm going through this, but like, how am I still filled with this internal joy? How do I have so much peace in this situation? And so that's something that only Jesus Christ can give you. And so
the backfield firm of Henderson, Howard, and Junkins was extremely effective. Which aspect of each of those other individuals did you want to model or gain from being around Howard and Junkins?
Man, those guys have such a great mentality, man. I just really love their mentality, especially Q as well. I talked about Will Howard, his leadership, the point down mentality. Man, that boy just gifted. You see, sometimes he put in a situation where he looked like, he should have -5 yards. And then as soon as you know it, he either running through somebody, step on somebody, and shoot, it's a game of 10.
Do you ever try to do some of the things that he does, or you just realize he's too different a guy from you?
I think, yeah, man, I think it's just like, he's just gifted, man. To be honest, he's just gifted. He's a big back. He's strong, and so he's able to do those things. And so yeah, man, it's definitely I look at this game and I want to at the same time I want to learn from Quinshon. I want to look at this game as like, man, where can I get better at as well? That's the type of player I am. I'm always looking to get better, man. I'm always looking to grow as a player. Julian Sand. Oh yeah, he's gonna be a great quarterback, man. He's so accurate. And so he's definitely, man, I know Coach Day is definitely going to get him right. Just, continue to grow as a leader, continue to grow as a player. And so he's going to be really good for Ohio State. I know just the quarterback position. I feel like, you know, the quarterbacks in the past, they've definitely been vocal, and so I feel like that's something that they're definitely going to ask of Julian Sand as well, is to be that vocal leader and lead the offense and lead this team.
Trey, what makes James special as a running back? What makes James special as a running back?
Shoot, man, he has a build like J.K. Dobbins, and I kind of see them, you know, similarities in their game as well. And I know J.K. Dobbins, he was a great running back. I feel like he's not talked about enough. Watch his highlights is great. I remember before I committed here, I remember watching J.K. Dobbins highlights like every one of his years here, like 4 or 5 times. And so, man, he was such a great back. And I feel like, you know, when I see J.K. Dobbins, when I see James People, I see similarities to both of their games. I feel like they play the same.
Thanks,
so,
Trey.
Appreciate you all. Yeah.
Yeah, so no, they'd announced 2 questions before that was the last question. So he actually answered 1 bonus question. So we were getting an extra question out of him.
So yeah, Dylan came in the locker room like, and it just felt like he's been there, you know, for 2 years now.
Jordan, what's your favorite short yardage goal line play call to hear come in, and why?
East Georgetown. We call it East Georgetown. That's, you know, I formation, guard pulling, and just getting down there and running behind all those big boys.
What's been your favorite part of this process?
Honestly, just, you know, meeting with teams, just, you know, letting them get to see the type of person I am, you know, my personality, just, you know, my knowledge of the game.
What's the most important thing you want to convey to them this week? What's the most important thing you want to convey to teams this week?
Yeah, just I'm a team guy. You know, I can, you know, come in there and I just want to contribute in any way that I can. You know, whether that's RB2 or RB3, you know, a special team, just anything.
What did your teammates say about you? What would your teammates say about you?
You have to ask them, but, you know, I would hope they'll say I'm a cool guy, I'm a chill guy. You know, I love the game of football, and that's pretty much it.
What's the favorite pass reception you've ever made in your career, and why?
Favorite pass reception? Honestly, I'd say this year, it was against Washington. You know, I came out opposite side of the backfield, and Dylan threw it in the flat, and I kind of ran a guy over. So
you didn't kind of run him over. You made him roadkill.
Yeah, that's my most memorable one from this year.
Why do you have that mindset of taking on? You take guys head on. Like you sometimes juke, you sometimes use a stiff arm, but more often than not, you just truck them. Yeah. Well, what put that in you?
Yeah, just my love for the game, man. I've always played the game like that. I feel like that's how the game's supposed to be played, so that's how I play it.
Are you where you want to be in terms of your weight?
Yeah, I'm right on, actually.
You're what, 205? Now, you've played heavier.
Yeah,
but
I played heavy.
You want to be 205, then?
Yeah, I'd stay in that 205, 208 range. I just feel better at that weight.
Quicker?
Yeah, quicker, just more explosive. I play at 210 as well. You know, I can play it that way too, but I just feel the best at 205.
What have you guys been doing in terms of your diet? What have it changed?
Yeah, just eating better in general, man. So, you know, just putting the right things in my body, you know.
Are you doing everything here, all testing?
Yes, everything but the vert. Saving vert for pro day.
Got it.
Is that fierce competitor that we see on the field, is that in all avenues?
Yes, every aspect of life. You know, I'm a competitor. Ask my family, man. Board games, anything, man. I'm trying to win. So.
You want to say anything to Oakland High School?
Say that again?
You want to say anything to Oakland High School back in Tennessee?
Yeah, man. Just, you know, appreciate y'all for, you know, every guy on that team, you know, Coach Creasy, all those coaches, man, for, you know, preparing me to be the player and the man I am today.
As a 3-phase back, you also have been asked to pick up blitzes. If I want to see the best game of you in terms of that, in terms of blitz pickup, what game should I put on?
I don't know any games specifically, but, you know, I have one in mind.
Tell me about it.
Ohio State. Safety blitzing off the, you know, coming through that C gap, man. I just, you know.
You took him off his feet.
Yeah. For sure.
I remember.
Have you had any formals here at the Combine?
Any formals?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had 6.
Do you know which teams?
Yeah, the Jags, Bills, Cowboys, Commanders, Broncos, and Steelers.
Can you walk me through that Cowboys one?
Yeah, man, they kind of grew me. So you know, I walked in there. They're pretty. They were pretty. You know, they knew what they wanted to do. They taught me some stuff and had me excited. But you know, I like that interview. It was a good interview.
Jordan, you were a 3-year player at Oregon. You obviously had the opportunity to come back for year 4, and probably, I'm sure Phil Knight and the collective would have loved to have seen you in Pats for the Ducks. What was behind your decision to forego that senior season and come here and go to the NFL?
Yeah, like I said, I feel like I was in a great situation behind guys at Oregon to where I could, play that third year and, put everything on film I need to put on film to go to the next level. And, it's always been my dream to be an NFL running back, man. So I couldn't pass that opportunity.
Thank you so much. Big TD.
How you doing, man?
Oh, Teron Davenport.
Good.
You know me. You know me. That's how I am. It's just two things. Compared to there we go. Now I want to put you guys like a mismatched buddy cop film. He's the wild card. You got to watch him. You're the guy who's like, I'm too old for this. What player do you still want to see that you haven't seen far, like talk to, hear from?
Probably Ariante Ursary. I want to see him. I want to talk to him about what makes him play so physically. Talk to him about the athleticism at that size.
I like him
how
so
he
much.
can, work in his own blocking scheme. Those things.
He's a really good chance to hear from, talk to. Who's been the guy that you like had a little feeling for? You like he hit you somewhere in the heart, please.
It's Cam Ward, man. It's Cam Ward. I love the quiet confidence and just he's like, man, I just want to play ball, and I'm not really here for all this stuff. But just the belief that he has in himself, it's cool. You can feel it, and you can understand why, his teammates talked about him as such a great leader.
I feel like he's one of those guys that just, you said all ball, right? He's just all ball. He could do without all the hoopla. He'll do commercials because you got to do commercials if you're, the first quarterback taken. He'll do all that stuff, but he's not a guy who's going to be like thinking about, meetings with his brand consultant or whatever. That's not really him. Obviously, you are close to the Titans, and they have made a change, I guess it'd be fair to say. I'm assuming that team's going to want to get bigger. Do you think that the Titans are going to want to get bigger, like looking at bigger guys?
Yeah. No, they're going to want to get bigger. Borgonzi, the GM, he's said that.
Comes from the Eagles, right? And the Eagles are huge.
Yeah, and Chad Brinker is a guy I talk to a lot, and he pointed to the Terrell Buckley draft. High pick, a guy who they kind of got away from their, beliefs of going bigger, stronger, etc.
Yep.
And he had a really good career, but he pointed to him.
Shout out to D-Buck. He had a really good career.
No doubt about it. But he said after that experience, he was like, man, we're always going to lean more towards the bigger guys, which is why I go back to Ariante Ursary.
Yeah, who's monstrous. Remind people where they can find your work, follow you, and of course see the amazing work that you do, because Teron's the best of the best.
Oh, well, thank you, man. That means that check I sent you clear. No, look, you can catch me on ESPN.com.
Yep.
Social media, @TDavenport_NFL.
You got a podcast too?
Oh, yeah. Talking with TV, Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, anywhere you get your fine listen.
If you aren't getting that podcast, do it now. What are you doing? Just wait. There's nothing happening right now. Grab his podcast.
That's right.
Thank you, man.
Great to see you,
How you doing, man? Yeah, long time no see. It's been a while, man.
So we've got another little delightful lull between position groups. Oh, wait. There's somebody on the podium, actually. I'm wrong. There's somebody still also low.
You can kind of feel the vibe change and the trajectory we were on changed completely from the year before and the years past. You could just feel that vibe around, and it was amazing to be a part of. And like I said, Arizona will be home forever. I love that school. I love Coach Gillingham. I love the coaching staff that was there with me, past and present, future. Everybody that's going to be there is good for the program, and I'm excited to see what they have in the future. So I won't be working out. I'll be doing the broad jump and the vertical. Some things going on, so I'll be working out pro day on March 27th at Arizona State for anybody that wants to come.
Cam, you got me for Cam. Oh.
No, it was just something I did in high school when I ran someone over. I would do the Ric Flair woo, and one of my great good friends, he used to tell me to do that, and we kind of got that started. So it was something that me and him connected over, and over the years, it caught on and stuck with me.
Who were some?
No, I used to watch WWE with my grandfather before he passed away, but that's not something I watch very much anymore.
Cam, you got at me for only comping you to white running backs. You'll be pleased to know you're now being comped to black running backs. I've been talking to you since you're back at Sacramento State. Tell me about what it was like to make that transition, and how did you make the choice about where you want to go?
Yeah, leaving Sacramento State was a big thing for me because I was home, I was comfortable, I enjoyed where I was at. But Coach Taylor took the opportunity at Stanford, and I knew that was my chance to take an opportunity somewhere else at a higher level. And going to Arizona State was the best decision I've made in my life. It set me up for success, and it put me where I am at now.
Are you still talking to Jackson about what he's going through?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Me and Jackson talk all the time. I wish he would have came with me to Arizona State, but
I was going to ask you. He tried to bring
I'm
it.
glad he stayed. He loved his coach. He had a great time there, and he's a great player. And I'm excited to see what he.
What made him special?
I mean, he's a big physical guy. I think people value him as undersized, and he's not.
No, sir.
But he loves football, and you can see it. You can see the way he plays and how he approaches the game outside of it. He's a great human being, and that helps a lot dramatically, being able to make connections. And he was somebody that a lot of people are able to make connections with.
Cam, you're the most powerful runner in this class. Nobody can take you down. Nobody can get a clean hit on you. Can we talk about just your play style, your running style, and how that's going to translate to the professional offense?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple. I'm physical. People don't think I'm as fast as I am, which I am fast.
Yep.
But punish the defender because they don't want to do it for 4 quarters. Not everyone thinks they have to play for 4 quarters because now in today's game, it's either a blowout or it's a tight game. There's no in between of fighting back and forth. Within 15 points, it's a game of numbers, and you either score a lot or you don't. And my objective at the end of the day is get to the end zone. So being able to do that the way I do it, it works. So I'm going to continue to do it until it doesn't work, and then figure out how to make something work. So
what run blocking concept showcases that skill set the best in one?
Can you say it again?
Like what run blocking concept or particular like play type showcases that skill set the best in one?
Yeah, I mean, obviously downhill power and I formation, but you have to look at everything I've done. I've ran every power scheme, every gap scheme, I've run every counter. There's not a run I haven't ran yet, and I do them all pretty well. So I'm excited to go into a new room with the new playbook and learn it. And no matter what they have for me, I'm going to be able to execute at the highest level. Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, year one, you want to focus on making the roster and getting your starting job, and understand that you're there for a reason. And then, as years go on, obviously there's things I can do, and I'm hoping that a coach sees that and sees the versatility that he has in his backfield. And maybe something happens. I could play for 10 years and throw the ball 5 times, or I could play for 10 years and throw it 0 times. So I'm excited to see what the future holds, and who takes me, and what they use of me.
Yeah, your violent running style, like it seems like you take every carry. What is it that drives you? Why do you play?
Well, I mean, if you got the ball in your hands, the objective is to get in the end zone. If you love football, you're going to do whatever you can to do that. So every time I touch the football, it's because I'm trying to get in the end zone. And that's why I believe you give the best guys on the team the ball 30 times a game, is because you have a better shot of scoring if the guys that like to score got the ball. So touching the ball for me is something that I've done my whole life, and I score a lot of touchdowns doing it. So I am surprised. Shamar Simmons, I feel like, deserves to be here. Lee Faltano deserves to be here 100%. There's other guys that deserve to be here. There's great talent here, don't get me wrong. Everyone that is here deserves to be here, and it sucks that there's only so many spots, but there's guys out there that on every single team that deserve to be in this spot. And those 2 guys on my team were great players, great athletes, love football, and I'm excited to see what they have to do at Pro Day because they're going to shock a lot of people.
And what's the best?
I have met with the Broncos. It went well. It went well, yeah. I'm not going to get into too much, but all my meetings went well with the teams that I met with.
What's one part of your game that you're most looking forward to showcasing?
Say it again, please.
I'm sorry. What's one part of your game that you're most looking forward to showcasing?
Route running and catching the ball, and then proving that I can pass block, because that's something that's been kind of questionable in my career. But as time goes on, I'm learning, I'm getting better, and I'm practicing that and I'm repping it. So I'm excited to see or show coaches that what they think I might not be able to do or have a weakness at, that it's getting better and that it's going to be a strength instead of a weakness.
Cam, who's the best player you faced in your days at Sac State?
At Sacramento State, there's a lot, I played against a lot of good athletes, a lot of good quarterbacks, a lot of good receivers. I don't know if I could say a specific player.
To defense, who's the guy that you had to face in the hole who impressed you the most?
Do you have somebody in mind?
I might, but
who do you have in mind?
So I'm thinking about your second year at Sac State. You met somebody, a linebacker in the hole, who I think may have up transferred. I'm trying to remember if he stayed. But when you faced him, he was at, was it Montana? Did you play Montana? What year did you play Montana?
I played Montana my freshman and sophomore year.
So it was either your freshman or your sophomore year. I think it was your sophomore
my
year.
Sophomore year, yep.
And you met a linebacker, 227-pound kid. I can't remember his name. No, maybe I can't remember his name. He wore 52, I think. You know the guy I'm talking about?
Possibly, but as you can tell, I moved on to the FBS, and
you did.
There's guys at that level that are a lot better, and
Okay, so who impressed you most as a tackler you've ever faced? Anyway.
I'd say there's a lot of great players. I played against some of the guys that are here, so I'm excited to see what's in the future and play against these guys that are now in the NFL.
You not only play well through contact. Can we get a Ric Flair?
Guys that really just turned the page for Kings football and made it to what it is.
Yeah, it's special just because, we had NFL talent. We have more NFL talent too. And it's just really cool to see how far we've come, show what we could do. And I can't wait to turn on the TV here later on and see Melo and Kobe go do their thing and compete and show the world what they can do.
Devin, of all the tests that you're doing here, which one are you most excited about showing off?
Definitely the 40. I just think that's part of my game where people doubt and don't understand, how fast I am running.
Are you sub 4.5?
We'll see. I don't like to throw out a time, right now. We'll see when the results come. I've been working towards that, and, I just hope to put out a good time.
What's one thing you want teams to know about you after this weekend?
Yeah, I just wanted people to understand, who I am. Obviously, the football stuff is there. It's all on tape. And, I want people to understand that I do know football like the back of my hand. And also that, I am a leader. I am a captain. What else I can bring to the table. The intangibles that teams can't really see on tape. How much effort can a guy give? Does he show up on time? Is he a culture changer? Stuff like that. Those are things I am, and I'd love to show that to teams.
What's the best adjustment play you ever made? Where you saw something, maybe you tap your quarterback, and you get your quarterback to say, hey, I see something.
Me and Jalen, we did that a lot frequently.
Yeah, I noticed.
We talk in the backfield. We'll see different pressures and, we'll flip the protection. I wouldn't say that's anything crazy. I think it's kind of normal, just understanding defense and stuff like that.
But what's the one where you made a big play off it?
There's been so many, like I said before, we flipped the protection and we're able to pick it up. So then we, have an explosive play, explosive pass. So, it's happened a lot of times. So I can't pick out one specifically, but.
Okay, so you have at times, as you said, been asked to do different things in the offense, and you and Jalen have clearly a synergy, like you just said. Mm-hmm. What is it that allowed you guys to always work together so well, even without even able to talk to each other? You can see things the same way.
I just think it starts, young. Not a lot of people have the same experience with playing with your quarterback at the same grade and for 4 years straight, So, we built that bond, and, that's my best friend. So I'm always at their house watching film together. And, that the connection we have, it's unbreakable. And so, we kind of just feel each other out. We understand, how we play. And, it's just unique in that way, just playing with your best friend, having fun. And, it's just we're connected in that way. So I know how he plays. He knows how I like to play. So we're kind of connected in that way. So
Would you prefer a more run-heavy offense in the NFL or like a more explosive pass offense? If you could pick one to be applied.
I mean, for me, I think I can do either or. So, I'm not going to pick one because, I think I can thrive in both systems.
What's your favorite passing concept to run?
I like to get out there one-on-one, with linebackers, run option routes, maybe out of slot, maybe not, just being able to run option routes for sure.
So if it's 3rd and 8 and it's like a cover 3 matchup, right? And then they slide out, a safety out to like come get you, and you're running an option route. What are you looking for to tell you like where you're taking it?
Definitely leverage. First leverage, and then see what's in the inside. So if there's a back that's in the inside, I obviously can't go towards it too much. Or then you look outside and see if it's covered too hard flat. Or if they try to do an invert thing where a corner likes to stay down and safety over top. You just got to look for different things. A lot of teams will switch up at the last second. So you just have to be prepared at the same time. But, definitely leverage first and then let your athleticism take over from there.
Your feet have become way more efficient as I've watched you from year to year to year. Obviously, you've been well coached. What thing have you done and worked on to make yourself a more efficient runner?
I think there's 2 things to that question. Obviously the off-season work. I traveled to Florida and you're working out there and just picking the brains of different running backs and stuff like that. And then, I just think I got more well-versed in the film study, understanding, different defenses on a different level to be able to play faster and just be able to use my athleticism from there. I just think as much as you can, you like to slow down the game, but at certain points you have to let athleticism take over, and that's where you go back to your training in the offseason work.
Now, who's back?
You've got great ball security. Can you just talk about what goes into you having such a low fumble rate and how you've been able to build that as a skill while some struggle?
That's the key element to my position, and job security or ball security is job security. So I take pride in that. Our team takes pride in that. It's pretty simple when it comes to just the technique of it, not being loose with the football, and, just in traffic, you cover it up, so it's just stuff like that. I think that's one of the most simple parts of the game that's undervalued, but you have to take care of it. You have to take care of the details each and every day.
Thanks, Devin. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Devin.
It's one. Good luck to you.
Hope the Broncos draft you, bro.
Definitely. I feel like the legacy I left was just something that can be built. Legacy of, especially coming from an air raid offense that they say. I turned the air raid offense into a spread run offense, you know what I mean? I'm the all-time leading rusher in Texas history. That's something that I won't say a lot of people in here can't really say. You know what I mean? That's just the legacy I left was winning. I changed the culture there, especially for McGuire, and changing the culture and improving that way. So I feel like I left a lot at that school, and I'm blessed with it. Appreciate it.
Are you doing everything here, all drills?
Yes, sir. I'm doing all drills here.
Excellent. Now, you have a little more power and pop than I think people think of you as kind of like, it's that spread, but a guy who like tries to get to the outside. What's your favorite power, downhill, tough run you've ever made?
My downhill tough run I ever made was probably the one versus Cincinnati. It was kind of, I know a lot of scouts played. It was maybe only like 6 yards, but that was like kind of my power force run because I made maybe about 3-4 people miss, and I got maybe about 6 yards on it. It wasn't a big game, but it was the one like it could have been a 2-yard loss, but I turned it into a 7-yard positive play. So that's something I say right there.
What have you been working on in the weight room to get yourself ready?
Oh, definitely. Just the bench aspect, just knowing how fast to bench, when you got to take your breaks, when you got to keep going and fight through those things. Because, I'm trying to put up some numbers, and I want to do that. So something I came here to just prove myself.
What do we say numbers? 17, 18? What do we think?
And hopefully, y'all gonna see it tomorrow, man. Not tomorrow. I guess it's on Sunday. It's gonna be on Sunday. So I'm gonna put up some numbers.
What do you think is the best aspect of your game?
Just my consistency within the passing game, within pass pro, and then just not going down by one person. Just the willingness to not be tackled, the willingness to fight for extra yards, the willingness to score touchdowns. So I feel like those are aspects of my game.
What game's your best game on tape as a pass protector?
Pass protector, West Virginia, Oklahoma State. I can name a lot of them. All the games that I've played in, man, it's been a lot, and I know I got teach tape within pass pro.
What's your favorite catch you've ever made in the game?
Probably the Oklahoma State when I had a wheel route and I caught a touchdown and they didn't expect it. So that was probably my best one right there.
Have you met with the Broncos?
I have not met with the Broncos, but hopefully so.
Are you working at all on things like returning punts and kickoffs?
Oh, yes, sir. So it's something I did in college. I did return. I was an off returner. I'm never shy away from the special teams aspect, but I was an off returner and a returner sometimes. But the last 2 years, I didn't really get to play because they needed me on the field as much more. So, but I would definitely be open up to that.
Are you at the weight where you want to be?
Yes, sir.
Where'd you weigh in?
I haven't weighed in yet, but
Okay.
I'm probably weighing around 220, 219 years.
Now you've played higher and you've played lower. Where do you feel most comfortable?
I'll say probably, especially coming for the NFL, I'll probably say lower, probably being at 220 range right there, just because I want to be fast. And then I'm probably not going to have as many carries as I did in college. You know, college I wanted to be a little bit more heavier so I can have the bulk of the carries and take those hits. Now it's just, being nimble, staying healthy, and just being correct in that way.
When you're in, say, you're on the 8-yard line, right? And it's second down.
8-yard line going in? Or
going in. You're going in, right? Sure, you're in the red zone, and the ball's coming to you.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite, red zone run play to hear come in?
I like our guard, especially from this year. It was our guard and tight end counter, or our inside zone to the right, or to the left, anyway. Or we kind of had, power. I love our power, especially with the offensive line we had, man. We had some guys that love power and love counter, so that was probably my favorite runs.
You've shown you can be a zone runner, and you've even run some more man power kind of stuff. What do you do differently with your eyes and feet in those two different things?
Definitely. So my feet, it's just different loadouts. So I know how to different preset steps first. And then my second thing is just the eyes. I do a very good job of setting the second level defenders up so they don't know how to make the tackle and things like that, and they read the wrong gaps and things. So really just that right there.
What player you played with in high school do you wish you could have taken with you to college?
The player that I actually have one from high school that he was here. He ran yesterday. The guy Princeton Mamillan.
Oh my God! Yeah.
I played with him in high school. That's like my brother, man. We go a long ways back. And I came, man. He did a great job for himself. I'm proud of him.
Yeah, you would have loved to have had him at Tech, I imagine.
Oh man, what? I would love to have him at Tech too.
So as you project forward, you're watching tape now of what NFL teams do. When you watch NFL offenses, which ones do you say, oh man, I'd love to be in that offense?
Man, it's a lot. It's a lot. I'm not gonna lie. It's a lot of teams.
I mean, you're top 3, 4.
Top 3, probably the Steelers is one. I love how they run hard-nosed running. The Vikings is another one. I love the Cowboys as well. I just need a running back right now, and I think I can do a level of success there.
You can just drive up.
And you know what I'm saying? But I feel like those 3 teams, and then within the inside zone and the run aspects, man, I just love it. Especially just playing in the strong ball and learning NFL offenses. It's been exciting for me. So it was just easy to learn too as well.
As you continue, right? You've worked on blitz pickup. You're one of the better backs at that. You're a good receiver of the football, and you can run power. You can run inside zone.
Yes, sir.
What are the things you still are trying to fine tune? What are the things you still want to fix in your game?
I want to just catch more balls. You know what I mean? Just from quarterbacks, because my offense, running back really wasn't catching a lot of routes out the backfield unless he needed to. And I just wanted to fine tune that. And then just my route running, just make it crisp, make it easy, get in and out of breaks, make it easy to break off linebackers, defenders in that way. So really just those things right there. And then just my technique and pass pro. I know sometimes I can be a little bit sloppy with my hands, but once I learn my technique and get back inside, it'll be better from there.
You played with Tyler, obviously, for a little while. What was that like from the other quarterbacks you've ever played with?
Definitely. Smartest guy on the field, I can tell you that right there. He's gonna know the defense. He's gonna know the checks, ins and outs of the play. He's gonna know if this is a great look to run this play into, and he's gonna know the coverage. He's a guy that studies his plays. He knows his information, and he's gonna be a best. I think he's one of the best quarterbacks here, in my opinion. So.
Thank you, Taj.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Good luck, young man. You're going to have a long, successful career.
Thank you.
Oh. We've got... Hello there. Thank you for coming. Oh, is that food? Oh, well, you know me too well. You know me too well. Oh. I should have asked what it was. Okay, I should have asked first. Does someone not have a shellfish allergy who would like this?
There's someone who's not of a shellfish allergy like this?
I'll take it.
Yes.
Thank you.
I should have asked what it was.
Someone responded to that.
Someone would need an EpiPen if I were to eat that. It's got a little lull again. Oh, spine. Okay. City of Sports. At some point, my boy Emery will be up there. Of course, PFT, the happy hour.
Actually, Ryan said that y'all had a golf party, right?
The pocket-sized powerhouse, Justina Anderson just strode by. And that's who we just saw. The last guy I just spoke to was Taj Brooks. I got to speak to Devin Neal. Got to ask some questions of Amarian Hampton. Got one off to Agenti. Spoke to Damian Martinez and Quentin Dylan Sampson. Unfortunately, I didn't get to Quinshon Judkins because of the overlap. Got to Cam, who was originally supposed to be at a different podium. And then Donovan Edwards, Jordan James. This is one guy that people are also sleeping on. LaQuinn Allen from Syracuse, one of the best receiving backs in this group. So I guess I'm going to head up to the workroom and do some work. A little media workroom work. Didi Koala. Radio Row. Row of radio. Al Calle del Radio.
They want to bear harder.
Oh, the photo shoots going on in there for the stuff you'll see on Past the Draft and stuff like that.